here is big, and it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Good evening and welcome to Live at the Bike. I'm Jennifer Bankston here with Scott Groves. How are you doing tonight?
Good. Exciting 30-60 limit action.
Yeah, we are having our 30-60 limit hold'em game. This is our normal game for a Wednesday night, and we will quickly go around the table and introduce our players. Give it to me, Scott.
Seat 1, Tom, kind of new to this particular game. Seat 2, doesn't look like that's Grace anymore. We'll get an update on his name in just a minute.
That's Hank.
Oh, Hank,
That's
excuse
Hank.
me.
We're playing musical chairs already.
All right.
It's going to be one of those nights.
Seat 3, we got Lars, pretty common. Seat 4, Vicky, a 2+2 favorite normally. Seat 5, Lizette.
Woohoo!
Seat 6 is empty right at the moment. A couple people coming down. Seat 7, Roberto. Seat 8, Hank. And
Seat 8 would be Grace. The chair's turned around.
Okay.
It's automatically Grace. And
Gotcha, Grace.
Maury's in Seat 9.
Sir?
Fun. And coming in at the middle of the hand, so don't have much up yet. And we'll get to the next round in just one moment.
Deal seat 8 in. Thanks, plugs.
Deal seat 8 in. We know Grace doesn't want to miss a single hand.
So we got a post for one of our 2+2 players, George, who's played in this 30-60 game before. And he says he's heading down here, but we have not seen him yet. So, but there's a seat open for you, George. So get it down here. We got pocket sevens.
Raise.
Under the gun comes in for a raise.
And anytime I get called by Lisette, automatically I think some eyebrows are going to go up.
Oh, she's smooth called with king queen, huh?
And 7's still ahead.
Raise.
Oh, Lizette raising.
And Lisette, normally a real tight player here.
Well, she's got to think that's the only way she can win the hand, and now she's picked up the queen, so.
And I think 7s are going to have to drop here fairly quickly.
I was thinking about it.
Against someone like myself, I'd probably check raise.
Sevens makes the call.
Makes the call. Drawing a 2-outers. And that's no good. A 2 is not the 2-outer. And Lisette proudly flips over a little suck out.
I can just hear what's going on through his mind. You raised me under flop with nothing.
And that's limit for you, folks.
Well, she can do that because she has such a tight image. It's amazing he didn't fold on the turn.
Well, he does have sunglasses on, so maybe that played into his decision.
I don't get it.
People with sunglasses are always better players.
It doesn't really work for me. Okay.
Sandy.
We got a lot of aces and sevens. Got Grace comes in for a raise in seat 8
Raise it.
with ace-7 of hearts.
And actually, she's ahead right at the moment.
Three players.
Little does she know how far ahead she is, with everybody's cards being more or less counterfeited.
Oh, well, that's a good flop for seat 3.
7-8 catches up pretty big.
Open-ended. He's not gonna let it go.
Two players.
And there it is. Done deal.
And let's see if Grace lets it go.
She's gonna bet on the turn.
No, I think he bet.
I know, but she was gonna bet.
Of course she was. She has to represent the strength all the way through.
So he could have went for the check raise. But I mean, I'm an advocate always of betting whatever I have. But
So do I. But against certain players that you know are just uber aggressive, I think maybe especially in limit to set up for those extra bets or two. I think it's something that's overlooked a lot in limit play.
then again, I check raised today when I was drawing the 1 card. So
Well, set over set, you're just supposed to lose a lot of money. That's the way it is.
clubs and
Few people can get away from that.
paper.
And the funny thing is, I think the trap play and check raises kind of goes overlooked these days in limit due to the fact that it's not as exciting as no limit. You can't catch everybody for all their chips, but just one trap play an hour or one check raise an hour that pays off. That's the difference between $0 extra and $120 extra.
Indeed.
And we got C5 in the big blind. No cards yet.
Seat 2 on the cutoffs got pocket 10s. Nobody else got anything.
Grace folds around.
And he's going to raise.
Raise.
Yeah.
And he takes
Was
down
that's
the
not
blinds.
going to defend a 3-4 offsuit?
Nice hand, Hank.
Thank you. Blinds up, please.
What's her name, Tracy? Tracy, yeah. You tell.
And
Well,
so
looks
far,
like a
fold around.
whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing, and unfortunately, somebody does have to win these spots.
And seat 3 is going to raise with ace-8 offsuit.
And what does Vicky call with there? Looks like
Jack,
Jack
7
7
suited. 2 bets cold.
and
And
ace.
Lizette called in the small blind with deuces.
Ace to the head here,
She's
but
winning,
Vicky's
but-
going to pull one off.
Come on, don't get too cheap.
She needs a 7 or a jack. That's not going to help.
No good.
That's good.
I don't think Vicky's going to call here. It's so tempting in limit, even though she was probably certain the gentleman had an ace. Just so tempting not to pull off those extra cards for minimal bets.
I'm surprised she called before the flop. 2 bets cold with jack 7 with hearts.
But let's not forget, Jen, they were suited.
Well, I know, but
It's kind of a joke.
To the skinny
I
guy, I
know.
call you the kid.
there's George. That's not the same guy I'm thinking about, is it?
Cello, yeah. Mr. Cello.
This is the 2+2 poster George. I'm thinking of the George with the hat.
Ah, gorgeous George.
This isn't, no, not that George with the hat. That's Charlie. There's like 3 Georges here with a hat. This isn't the one, but now I do recognize this guy, so he's coming in to take seat 6.
So it looks like ace-9's flopped the best hand.
Raise.
And doesn't want anybody to get their cheap lane. 8.
The lady, Julie.
One card straight does not deter seat 7 to the least. Still bets it. I think he has the best hand, rightfully so. And it looks like
2,000.
he's gonna take it down. I can't imagine a call here with the gut shot.
And the rabbit cam showed a... Okay, it doesn't do me any good if I can't see the card. It's a diamond of some sort. It looked like a 10 of diamonds, actually. Ish.
Moi? Moi? You gotta be kidding.
We can play Can You Read the Rabbit Cam with just a corner of the card. Pocket 9s for Vicky in C4. She's going to raise it up.
When you play limit, Jen, do you raise with most pairs over 8s, pairs over 6s? Do you have a cutoff, or do you just assume that all pairs are probably good before the flop and you want to build a pot?
I won't play a pair smaller than 7s, ever. And if I'm in late position, I'll raise with 7s if nobody else is open. But today I got sassy and opened to raise under the gun with pocket 9s.
And look at Queen Deuce suck out with his one out there.
Oh.
It's a little rough.
Raise.
Napunta ako sa Walmart. Wala yung sasabi mo may
And he raises her on the turn.
And this is the example of the big blind special to perfection.
Queen.
Oh, poor Vicky.
Actually, not a big blind special. His post, I guess I should say.
It looked like he checked the river.
Yeah.
So
After he called her raise,
She probably can't call anyway. There's 2 overcards.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
Good job, George. Calling raise with Queen Deuce.
It was suited, Scott.
Oh, suited, that's right.
That's why Vicky can't be upset. Because
Usually-
she called 2 bets Cole with Jack 7 of hearts. He had her beat. And he was already in the post, so.
It's usually my excuse, actually. They were suited.
Your excuse is, I had chips to burn.
That's true. And, ladies and gentlemen, if I spoke Tagalog, I could probably keep you updated with the table action, but unfortunately I'm missing half the table talk.
You spoke what?
Tagalog. I think they're speaking Tagalog.
Tagalog? Is
Yeah.
that what's Tagalog?
It's a national language of
Is
the
he
Philippines.
is he right?
I can be right from time to time.
Well, check out the big braid on Brad.
Once in a while, a nugget of intelligence slips out. And it looks like we had a raise early position by Vicky. Not sure exactly what she has. Looks like
King 10 offsuit.
King 10 offsuit. She's going to get called down by
She got
looks
an
like
ace.
Jack.
I was gonna say she got ace jack to fold. No, I guess not.
No. Hank, ace jack, and the big blind, that's not going anywhere. And King 10 actually catches up. 7-9 with some draws out there. Ace jack with some draws, I guess.
Really? What draw does ace jack have?
Well, considering that 7-9 flopped the nuts. Not much. And apparently 7-9 folded before the flop. We
Yeah.
had an error there, which is a shame. Because he's going to be a little upset.
That's why we're focusing on Vicky.
Who has top pair, decent kicker.
Nice.
And
she's
takes
gonna take it down. Hey, that's my line. Wait, what do we got? Queen
New and
Jack-
exciting action. Folding around.
No, Queen Jack of Spades is going to raise on the button. Open raise.
I like it.
Eh,
Unfortunately, it's up against
Easy.
2 aces who are probably going to get called.
this deuce isn't going to call. Good man.
And here comes the ace.
That's a good flop for Queen Jack, though. He's got the open end straight and the runner.
And he's going to raise it.
Backdoor flush draw.
Re-raise by Hank. Knowing his ace-7 is good.
Tracy.
Oh boy, that's an extra out for Queen Jack. There's no
Queen
way
Jack
he's laying
definitely
this down.
He's not going anywhere. I
He's
think
at
he was
least
just debating
gonna
whether to
call,
raise.
yeah.
Those is my
Oh, well. Wah, wah, wah.
Hank
Now you
rightfully
have
so.
Queen High. Throw it in the muck.
Hank had the best hand all the way. Bet it rightfully so. I like it. I think he might have slowed down a little bit if seat 1 would have 4-bet him there, obviously representing the bigger ace. But when he gave up on the 3 bets, I think Hank knew he had him. So I'm reading the Stu Unger story, the book that just recently got published. Excellent book, Jen. You should pick it up or steal it from me when you're done.
When you're done?
When I'm done. That's what I meant. I speak English sometimes.
Sometimes.
This is my favorite part of the night when Lizette eats dinner because she plays ultra tight. If you thought she was tight to begin with, wait till she's enjoying a sandwich and it's all over but aces or kings.
Vicky's got... Oh, they're going to chop. Ah. She wanted to play.
Chop. I'm a big fan of the chop and limit poker. Not so much a no limit, but limit, just get it on with, move to the next hand.
Don't slow down the rake, though.
We have an exciting
Well, do it up.
beginning of the night chip count brought to you by Joker Gaming. Seat 1 with 1,300, Seat 2 with 2,000, his original buy-in, Seat 3, 1,900, Seat 4, 2,000, Seat 5, 1,500. I think she's grown a little bit since she bought in. Seat 6, 2,000, original buy-in. Seat 7, 1,200, Seat 8, 1,000, and Seat 9 is chipped away a little bit to get up to about 2,200, 2,400.
And seat 8 comes in for a raise with King Jack suited.
You can have Jennifer and Bart playing, and we go in the box. Oh,
Hey, what was that? You want Jennifer and Bart to play, and you guys to come back here?
That just wouldn't be fair. Because then you'd have 3 maniacs, just like Grace, playing in the limit game.
Bart plays a little bit more. Bart adjusts his game more for the game, and
I agree.
and I just play the same cards all the time.
Bart's a good player, so anybody that's out
I
there,
like to be predictable.
anybody that's out there in Postland criticizing Bart's commentary, and now he's a good player. I played with him quite a few times. And what do we come in for a raise here?
Vicky's got 8-9 suited.
Oh.
Oh, she folds. Oh no. I like the 8-9 suited better than Jack 7 suited.
Who was the original raiser?
Maury.
Seat 9 with the big king queen. 2 paint cards must raise.
He's in the lead.
Lucky for him, he's got.
Oh, no, he's not.
Ace 10, Wiener. Scott.
Raise.
Right. Oh.
And do we get any callers? No callers. Lizette takes it down. Wow, and I was just forced to eat my own words as she loosens up and plays Ace 10 in late position.
She was in the small blind.
Oh, she was in the small line. My mistake. So I did not have to actually eat my words as she's eating her dinner.
Raise it.
Raised by Grace.
Shocker. And looks like she's got, what's Grace have? Pocket 9s?
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Pocket 9s.
2 players.
And somebody in the blind called, I imagine. Nope, Vicky smooth calls.
With King 9.
She's drawn slim.
No idea how far behind she is. She's probably going to peel one out here, off here with overcards because she knows that Grace plays so aggressive.
Oh, Jennifer, okay.
Deuce. And Vicky's got to let it go.
What, Maury, what? What do you have to say? You come back here and say it to my face so I can run. No, Maury's a good guy. He could still beat me up, though.
You know, go back to that last hand. I know it's so hard for Vicky to lay down any hand, even an overcard or a king high against Grace, because she knows she bets so ultra aggressive with any hand. So, you know, she could easily bet all the way and turn over suited connectors, no pair. So I know that just pained Vicky to have to lay down king high, which sounds ridiculous when you're watching the tape, but you know, sitting at the game, it's much more difficult than when we get to see all the cards. And another exciting chop. Hope you guys learned how to do that at home.
There's no chopping in the home games.
Well, I hate when the home game takes the rake, so I always chop at home. Hank folds. Lars folds. Vicky folds.
He'll be folded around.
Yep, here comes another exciting chop. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure.
That's me snoring.
We should move the $100 no limit game over here. I sat down there because I had about half an hour to burn, and it was wild and crazy, ultra bluff action.
Wild and crazy. Okay, you having the nutful house and getting paid off is not called wild and crazy action.
Well, it wasn't wild and crazy for me, but when the guy moves all in with his 9 high flush draw, I consider that pretty wild and crazy. I'll take the free $300.
We have aces. Look, we missed it. You're talking about your crappy kings. We got
Ah, Lisette, I told you she's only going to play aces or kings when she's eating her dinner.
aces. Oh, why not?
Looks like Lizette's got a new hairstyle.
That's
Pretty
not
interesting.
true. Vicky does, though.
Ah, Vicky does. New
It's Vicky,
hairstyle.
not the sweat.
Can you tell how
But they both look
enthralled we are right now by the 30-60 action? Maybe a bit later we can get the floorman to ask what color dye Vicky uses.
Scott!
And we got a raise by Grace in seat 8 with Ace Jack suited.
3 players.
Who died and made you Terry?
Got to spicing this up a little bit. Ooh, all spades. Sexy flop.
That's a good flop for anybody with a jack. Or the
Exactly.
jack not. Jack
Or
8.
the Jack 8.
As Vicky has.
Vicky loves those Jack 8s, Jack 9, Jacks 10s. I mean, you do flop a lot of straights with them, but wow.
I know about flopping a lot of straights. You make a lot of
You
straights.
flop a lot of straights.
Really?
Yeah. Like 1 out of 137 times or something. It's pretty cool. Vicky and Grace kind of quiet tonight, not as animated as they normally are. Same with Hank. Hank's usually talking up a storm
You know,
too.
it would be a good game if we had, like, the ladies of the bike play in one game. Oh, that would be cool.
Actually, what would be some great action is some 20-40 Paduki.
Staduki.
No, just straight 4-card 20-40 Paduki.
Oh, well. Maybe one day. Maybe. I
All
doubt
the-
it, though.
all the kids are
We're
playing
chopping
it.
again.
Chopping again. Nice. Thank you, Kevin, for your comments on mediocrity.
Raise it.
We could flip a coin and figure out which one is which.
Let's see. I'll be okay, and you can be mediocre.
Okay. I'll remember that. There's a raise under the gun, pocket, or with ace, king, queen. Yeah,
Something.
king, queen.
10 Jack catches up the only way they could.
Yeah.
Three players. Check.
And pocket 7 still betting.
2 players.
Surprise, surprise, that's Vicky with that
And
Jack.
he makes a straight.
He
with
makes
the
her
sevens.
straight. That's gotta hurt. Straight. And Vicky may be going on meltdown here shortly.
All right. If you got questions or comments or criticisms, suggestions,
Or
email
really-
us at Live at the Bike or post on 2+2. And I would love to hear your suggestions on what good commentating is, since we're talking about the only thing that's going on. So if you have
And-
something else, please help me.
And if you got a really funny joke and you email and it's not too off color, then we'll go ahead and repeat it on the air, and you can be made infamous in 5 quick minutes.
Maybe. We'll see. All jokes must be approved by me.
Okay. And we got a raise on the cutoff. I like it. With looks like
7-9 suited.
7-9 suited. Takes down the blinds though. Good enough. It's one thing about a nice observant player. They know who they can steal the blinds from and who they can't. I've actually seen people at this game move in and out of position when Grace or other adamant defenders of their blinds are 1 or 2 to their left, because it's just real difficult to steal any blinds.
Oh, you can hear that? Okay, Vicky comes in for a raise with ace-9 offsuit. Cold call a king-jack offsuit.
2 players.
Georgie George, making it happen. He was behind, now he's really behind.
He can catch a queen.
He can't catch a queen, a king, or a jack to win.
There it is.
And there's the king. And he bets out, and Vicky's going to go into the...
Check call.
That's always a shame.
Why didn't he bet? What? Hey. Vicky, you owe him $60.
Yeah, I don't know if George felt a little guilty
There's no
there,
guilt
or-
in poker.
I don't know what the situation was there. Missed value bet by
It's
George.
okay. Vicky saved $60.
That's true. And I don't think Vicky,
She's happy about it, I'm sure.
I can't see Vicky being sneaky and setting him up for the check raise there with any type of straight or full house. So I think she just would have betted out for value. I think George missed a bet there, although he's played fairly well every time I've seen him play. Here comes Lars with
King
something.
10 suited.
Pretty
We've
sure
got
he's going to
Pocket
call
Jacks
by
in seat 7.
Pocket Jacks who re-raises.
3 bets. It's going to be heads up.
And
players.
King 10 just calls.
Not a good flop for King 10.
Not a good flop at all,
I mean-
especially when Jacks bets out and is not scared of the overcard.
Well, there's only one overcard.
Yeah, I know. Some people do shrivel a little under the pressure of the overcard, though.
The chance of him flopping a pair are slim to none. And chances of, well,
I don't know
not
if it's quite
slim to none.
none.
But you know what I mean. It's
Me getting a home-cooked meal is like slim to none.
oh.
That's slim to none. We're talking about flopping a pair here.
Okay. Watch it, cowboy. Yeah, those are your odds now.
And it looks like we're going to have another chop-chop.
Chop, chop.
So I'd like to announce, so that I don't get accused of having okay commentary, that had the blinds actually played against each other with a powerful 2-8 of clubs and 4-10 of clubs, the 4-10 would have had him dominated.
That would be a good assessment.
Okay, sweet.
Congratulations.
I'm on it tonight. And looks like Vicky raises.
With Queen Jack offsuit.
Hey, it might be good. You never know till you
It
try.
might be good. She might take down the blinds. And she
Especially with a
does.
lot of people folding around. I think one
She
or
didn't know that yet.
yeah, I know, but one or two out of every hands that we've seen per round has been getting folded around, chopping the blinds. So maybe making a few out of line raises might be appropriate in this game.
If she thinks it was out of line.
Well, that's an argument we can have later with her.
I will. Right after I tell her how much you liked her hair. Seat 7 comes in for a raise with Ace King offsuit.
Two players.
Oh, and he gets
And
called by
Ace King
Queen
is
Jack.
Queen Jack.
And
Queen
Queen Jack.
catches up.
Catches up.
Probably going to go for the check raise here. Ooh, just check call. Probably going for the check raise on the turn if I know Hank.
Now he's
he
going to
just bets
bet.
out.
Well, he can't be certain the guy's going to...
Raise.
He gets the Ace King to raise him. Nice.
You
Ace
know-
King's trying to peel off free river. He thinks Hank will check and then he can check.
Well, the thing is I like that move, the raise, if you're against a player that came in voluntarily. But if you're against a blind, there's just too much chance that the blind has a 4 or something that can beat you. I'm not a big fan of that
Just show
raise
your
there.
queen. It's okay. He says he missed his flush. He doesn't want to show with ace high.
Oh, and somebody wanted to see the cards.
That's bad poker etiquette.
That is bad poker. Anybody listening out there in poker world,
Do not ask to see somebody's cards.
unless you actually think that somebody is colluding or cheating you, which is the only reason the rule is there,
You're taking advantage.
don't add insult to injury and ask to see somebody's cards. Oh, God, that's the most frustrating thing in the world. I don't care if it's a
This is
rule or not. It's just,
rude.
just inappropriate. Of course, if you're at a game where you actually think two people might be working together, then by all means, especially in the no limit. But in a limit ring game that's obviously heavily regulated by the casino, no reason for that. It's just salt in the wound.
Ace Jack raises seat 9. That's Maury.
Three players.
Ace Jack suited.
He gets called by Ace Jack in seat 1. And 3-5 is actually ahead at this point.
How does 3-5 have cards? Oh, he's
Well,
in the blind?
I think he got
Oh.
I think he got stuck in the middle trying to peel bet. And,
Don't try to
I'm trying to
justify 3-5 offsuit.
I'm the type of crazy guy that would play 3-5. So
Not in limit.
Not in limit. That's true. And Ace Jack, no way he can win here. 3-5 looks like he's going to take down a fairly sizable pot.
Maybe we need to spice up our commentary and, start giving people nicknames. But we do
Nicknames.
that, kinda.
We can call this guy, let's see, what's his real name?
Roberto.
Wonder what country he's from.
We don't really know him, so we're gonna leave him at Roberto. But somebody who won't be offended.
How about we call him like, Venezuelan Roberto?
We don't know that he's from Venezuela.
That's true. Okay, we can make fun of Hank.
Oh, I could definitely make fun of Hank.
Hank is a good guy.
Sparky!
And he likes having a good time. Oh, Sparky.
His last name is Sparks.
Sparks, nice.
He's Sparky.
Sparky
and he
Hank.
told me specifically not to call him that, Sparky.
Oh, okay, well then I don't want to insult the guy.
Oh, he's fine.
Lisette, I'm just gonna call her Dan Harrington Jr.
She's missing that really annoying hat, though.
That he doesn't bend the brim.
Oh, it just irritates me.
Maybe you out there in 2+2 land come up with a sassy name for your fellow poster George there in seat 6.
We've got pocket 10s and an ace king on the other side of the table, and pocket kings
king
for
jack.
Maury in seat 9.
Pocket
He
king.
raises it up. Pocket 10s 3 bets. Ace king smooth calls 3 bets,
Drawing a little
and
thing.
everybody else drops. I imagine kings is going to cap. Kings
Just smooth call the 3 bets. Don't really understand that, but okay.
Well,
Ace king got
considering
about.
the ace king, the kings are already out. That's about the best flop ace king could hope for.
Yeah, that's true. And
Besides an ace.
If a 10 comes, that's going to just be real devastating. So
Well,
we'll go from first to worst.
2 players. ¿Quieres jugar mañana por mí?
10's already got out, so he won't leave.
Mañana digo, ¿quieres jugar para mí?
And I
Caught
think
up
ace
in the-
king is going to drop here. Good job, Sparky.
He got check raised on the flop. He's got to know what he's done.
Yeah, but so many people will peel off that extra $60 trying to hit their ace or their 10 or their king or whatever they think will make them a hand that's winnable.
But not Sparky.
Not Sparky. All right, now we got to come up with a name for C3, Mr. Lars.
Lars from Mars.
Okay, no, we're not in second grade.
Speak for yourself.
Something a little bit more sassy. Has some poker repertoire worked in there somewhere.
Does he kind of look like Phil Lack?
Better tomorrow.
I don't know. I've never seen underneath Phil Lack's jersey hood thing.
It's a better game anyway.
Well,
And
Lars
Come on,
/
Lizette.
Phil just mucked, and George
Actually,
from
tonight I'm
2
going to go
plus
out there and I'm going to tell Lizette just to raise it a couple times with
I'm
bogus
talking.
hands.
George in seat 6 raises with pocket 4s and takes down the blinds.
Nice.
See, that's a position where I would raise, but I wouldn't. I don't think I'd do it with pocket 4s. I'd only do it with like 8s or 7s are better. 7s are better.
Well, now we know. So anybody out there that gets
Yeah.
raised by Jen, you know exactly where
You
she's
know
at.
what I've got.
Just
Well, I
fold.
might have 2 overcards, but as far as pairs go,
That's true.
I'm more likely to raise with 10-9 suited.
Oh, yes.
No. She buy back.
And Grace buys the button, so and posts at the same time. Something's going on. There's a little bit of dead money out there. Tom folds, Hank
And
folds.
Gets raised by pocket 8s in seat 3.
Ah, Mr. Mars.
Ace Queen makes it 3 bets. Grace is gonna let go of the 4-9.
Roberto's been pretty aggressive every time he's been in the hand. He's either been raising or making the initial bet. I like. And I'm
Not
sure
a good flop for pocket 8s. Check, fold.
not so much. You know, I think if Ace Queen maybe checks there, maybe gets the guy to bet into him on the turn.
Not
but,
a chance.
yeah, you
He
never
3
know.
bets.
You never.
There's
know.
no way that hand. There's no way that board shouldn't have hit him.
Yeah, well, maybe he has pocket 10s or pocket jacks, and he's scared now of the overcard, so pocket 8s puts a bet in there. Either way, doesn't matter. He's going to win.
Yeah. Stop.
Germain de la Fuente.
Poor Lars. I don't really know him either. Maybe I shouldn't give him a nickname. Gracie's moving to seat 9, and we have Neela coming into seat 8. I'll give you $1 if you can spell that correctly.
Neila, guaranteed.
Neila. Okay.
I lose $1. It's Nila.
Actually, you didn't counter bet me, so it was
Okay.
only a win situation for you.
Sweetness. And exciting 30-60 action going on here at the Bicycle Casino.
You supposed to come in or wait blind?
Actually, a fairly large tournament going on tonight. The $500 buy-in.
Omaha.
Nice.
Yeah, they'll
Like it.
probably have about 56 entries, but it'll be a nice size payout. That'll start at 7:15.
So if you're not down here yet, come down and play some exciting Omaha action, the game of all suckouts.
The game of all redraws.
Yeah, I like to
okay,
call it suckouts.
Grace raised with ace-9 on the cutoff and takes down the blinds.
A lot of that going around today.
That's the way it should be. Somebody should raise and everybody else should fold.
Yes, I concur.
Should never be a flop. You know how we could figure out some of these players' nicknames? If we ever read the sheets that they fill out.
Ah, yes, possible.
Oh, never mind. Apparently we don't have them fill out the 3-page sheet to be on Live at the Bike anymore.
We just have them sign the disclosure waiver and we're done.
Ah.
Wow.
It's up here.
So, what do we got going on here?
King
Ace-
Queen against Ace 6.
Oh, King
And
Queen.
Ace 6 has to let it
Stole
go.
it from Vicky.
Yeah, that's a skill I wish I had. It's called outflopability.
Outflopability?
Yeah,
Is that a
you're-
technical term?
Scientific, actually, yes. Ability to outflop your opponents when you're behind, time and time again. I used to have
I
that.
usually can't do that because I'm not behind.
Oh, see. I used to have that skill, and it just seems to have gone away a while back.
George raises under the gun.
With 2 cards.
Yeah. With 6, 7 of hearts.
Wow, mixing up the play there,
All
George.
right.
I think he's caught on to the fact that there's a lot of folding going on.
Well, plus this Lizette's blind.
And from under the gun, with with the raise, he's going to pick up the blinds.
$49 pot.
Easiest way to make $49 I've ever seen.
I raised 1 blind. Okay, I'm done for the day.
$50. Okay, thank you, sir.
I can eat for 2 weeks.
$49. That's a lot of top ramen.
That's what I'm saying. Aces for Maury in seat 9. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Grace. Where'd
Grace.
Maury go?
Yeah, kapatid niya.
Maury's out. That's
And
Grace.
she's going to look, and she's going to raise.
XX.
XX. Okay, that's our new code word for aces.
We have a problem.
Ooh, Lizette's going to call.
With ace-9
Ace 9.
offsuit. She's drawing
Way
slim.
behind. Pair my bottom card twice, and it doesn't happen.
Okay, she's done.
And Grace shows that even maniacs sometimes pick up a real hand. I love Grace's style because normally in a pretty wild game, she's going to get paid off big time on her premium hands, aces. You know, quite frequently she'll have 3 or 4 callers to her raise every single time, and when she does pick up those monster hands, she gets paid off handsomely.
I love Grace's play too because it works for her, but I wouldn't play that way because just when you do get paid off, you're not making up for all the money that you lost playing all those crappy hands.
Yeah, but she makes the most of them, so I like her styly.
Queen Jack suited comes in for a raise and picks up the blinds.
Ito lang ang game ng araw. Walang game. What time?
And actually, looking at our no limit section, unofficially, it looks like we might have an interesting game tomorrow night at Live at the Bike. They're trying to get some participants together for a $1,000 satellite shootout to win a $10,000 seat to the World Series. So I saw that up on the board. They got about 6 or 7 names up there, which will be a blast to watch Mo and Moses and all those guys shoot it out for $10,000. Hopefully that goes. Ace 8 catches up in the only way you can. Out flopability.
2 play.
I'm going to get chastised like you wouldn't believe on 2+2 when that word hits.
Meh.
And Ace 9 probably still thinking they're good here, that the king saved them as far as kicker goes, but little do they know Ace 8's going to take it down. Exactly. And Lizette at Ace 9 takes her bad beat and moves
I've
on.
got king playing. Sorry.
No, sweetie. Eight sitting there.
Right.
I put an ace king after as a freaking king on the river, you know.
The freaking king on the river.
It's not good enough that you sucked out on her with your ace 8, and you have to pick a play that you thought you might have lost anyway. Like, what do you expect?
You might have caught up with the best hand. You never know.
Raise it.
Pocket 7's on the button. Raises.
3 players.
Grace defends her small blind, and seat 1 defends his.
She's looking pretty good here.
Check.
Definitely going to insta bet the 7s. And she's going to take it down. Lucky for her, they called the raise. You know, she got an extra $60 out of that with her 7s.
Set up on 4.
Set up. Hopefully, we'll get a 52-card deck that looks different than the one we're playing with now.
Yeah.
We're bringing in the cooler, the action deck.
We're the only 2 people on Earth that agree that it's a complete waste of time, Scott. So
That's true.
I thought this was pocket 9, so it's actually 8-9 offsuit.
It's
She's gonna
ace
play
10.
anyway. And ace 7, Grace.
What's Lizette in there with? She's playing a lot more hands than normal. Different style
Lizette
tonight.
has got king 6 suited. There it is.
Rare form for her tonight. 7-9. Nice flop for them.
Raise.
Vicky has
Better flop
flopped
for 8-9.
a straight. Yeah. Flopped the second straight. But seat 8 is flopped the nut straight for Vicky. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Okay.
Yeah, it's a rough night when you play 4-8, hit your miracle hand.
And have somebody else.
Somebody else hit their miracle hand.
4-8. That's the flop that she was looking for exactly. Unless those were 3. Unless it was, a
3
straight
clubs,
flush. Right.
And Vicky puts out another raise. And what is Hank doing in there? Sparky, man, get away from it, dude.
You're drawing the chop.
Well, now he's drawing the win with his 8 of hearts. He went from worst to possibly having a draw.
Yeah,
that
and
he
he's the
could
only
win
one with the heart. He's got to stay in now.
And, I think the reason they called all those bets on the flop is because he put people on hard draws. So.
And Vicky just smooth calls. I can't believe Hank didn't call. That helped him.
Well, he didn't know that. I think with all that raising and betting going on, he just assumed somebody was out there on the big hard draw. And Vicky going to be a little disgusted.
I don't even think she's upset because they both flipped in with crappy hands and she just happened to outflop her. What was that? Outflopability?
Outflopability. It's a new term out there in the poker world.
She can't be upset.
Yeah.
She can't be too upset. And, Hank folding on the turn, I think it was totally appropriate. I think he should have folded on the flop personally, but I think he folded on the turn because with all that action out there, he had to put somebody on the big flush draw, and there's no way he thought even if he hit his 1-card flush, it was going to be good.
That's true.
Good fold. 2 bets too late.
Yeah, let's get a zoom in on our waste of time here.
Just in case you wanted to stop the action and minimize your profitability per hour, call for a deck change.
Maybe sometimes they are concerned that all the cards aren't in the deck, but no, that wouldn't be a good excuse because there's a card counter with the Shuffle Master, so... Nope, absolutely no excuse, okay. Just making sure. There are no bad setups, only bad dealers.
That's my new favorite line right there. I'm using that one tomorrow.
That's a big line? That's small line.
I mean, look, that's the cut of death. I'm sure she has it out for one specific person.
Of course she does.
So, let's see what we got here for hands. Vicky, under the gun, raises. with kings, 2 red cowboys.
2 red kings. Grace gonna
Save a
peel it off.
horse, ride a cowboy.
Oh wow, too many white trash bumper stickers there. Against Ace Jack. Vicky in real good shape, especially if the flop comes Jack high. She can just let Grace bet it all the way. And that's not the way it's going to be.
No.
Vicky's going to bet. Grace is going
Grace
to raise.
raises. Yes, Vicky.
Ooh, Vicky doing a
She's-
little Hollywood here and
No,
rechecking
she's
her
just
whole
got
cards.
3-bet. Grace is too smart to fall for the, I just call.
Yeah,
And
of
then
course not.
Vicky.
Ooh,
that's a
Jack.
good
This is going
card.
to get Grace in trouble big time.
But Grace didn't raise.
Huh, surprisingly.
Well, she already put Vicky on a on an overpair. There's no reason for her to call.
You know, it's easier for us, seeing here in the booth, telling Vicky how she could have set up the trap or whatnot, but I think maybe against Grace, a check on either the turn or the river, you can get a check raise out of her for an extra bet, but Grace is pretty slick.
No. That's why I was saying I don't think Vicky should have done it. Because Grace isn't going to fall for it.
Oh, okay.
Because if
Very
Vicky
possible.
just smooth calls and checks, well, she's only going to bet because she hit her jack.
Right.
She's not going to just
No,
bet
that's what I'm saying.
high.
That's why it's very easy for us to commentate on it here, but
That would have been a missed bet on Vicky's part, I think.
yeah, I like playing against aggressive, stupid players, and unfortunately, Grace
That's
and a
not
lot
Grace.
of people are just aggressive, not stupid at all whatsoever, and that's frustrating. The best is no limit, actually, against stupid, aggressive
Ace
players.
6 is going to raise and gets 3-bet by pocket 5s, and Vicky is going to call. Oh,
Vicky folds.
No, Vicky folds. Looks like she's going to call.
And it's going to be hard for either of them to make a move here.
Well, pocket 5's bets out.
And Hank's got to let it go.
He didn't expect anybody to wake up with a hand.
No, that's a good 3-bet by the blind. If you're gonna defend your blind, you at least want to give the image of a strong hand that you woke up in the
Right.
blind with a monster. So I love the 3-bet as long as he's planning to pet out on the flop. If he would have checked the flop, I think I would have freaked out momentarily here in the booth. But the 3-bet with any type of legitimate hand, especially when you know there's gonna be a lot of people on the cutoff and the button
Trying to make moves.
trying to steal it. Right. I love the 3-bet there, and then the representation of strength on the flop. That's if you're going to play it. Or there's an argument to just let it go and move on. But can't do that too often. You'll get eaten alive by Sparky. And in case you were wondering, that was a chop. Haven't been seeing much of that lately.
Nope. Yes, there is a point in wearing sunglasses at a limit game. The point is to keep people from bothering you. When you're wearing sunglasses, it's less likely that people are going to talk to you because you look a little standoffish, like you don't really want to be bothered. That's point enough in itself. Scott, do you have anything on the reads?
Nope. It is limit. Some people out there probably just think we're talking about
Oh.
something completely incoherent sometimes, but just to let anybody that's not a poster on 2+2
We're
know,
just reading
we're
posts.
reading posts off the commentary that you can find at the 2+2 forum under official Live at the Bike thread. So if sometimes we're making some incoherent comments, that's probably where they're coming from.
But then again, if you're paying attention in a limit game the same way that you're paying attention in a no limit game, it's going to help you just the same. I don't see why if sunglasses help, they help. It doesn't matter what the limit is. Do you think?
I mean,
it doesn't matter limit versus no limit.
For some of the more seasoned players that I've talked to that wear sunglasses, it's not so much people seeing them, it's that they don't want people to see who they're looking at. So, for example, if Lars wants to study somebody a little bit more closely than he wants them to realize, that's the benefit for the sunglasses. I've heard that argument. Who knows if it holds water? Jack Queen way out ahead there. Not any
anymore.
longer. 7-10 catches up. Big time.
But Vicky, not Vicky. Sorry, Grace.
Grace, kind of hard to get her off a 2-pair here with your straight draw.
With your gut shot straight draw.
King would really
nonetheless.
hurt at this point. And let's see what Nile does. Niley? Nyla, sorry. Nyla
Yeah,
bets
you can't
out.
say it right. You
I
can't
think-
pronounce. I mean, you can't spell
either.
it right.
I'm really surprised Grace is calling here. Nyla's only showed 2
I know.
hands
Yeah,
down.
that was good. Can't pronounce. That's yeah.
Really surprised Grace called the turn bet there. We've only seen Nyla turn over 2 hands, and they were good hands both times. Neela, sorry,
Neela.
Neela.
Okay,
Neela.
that's what we said.
Correction
Neela.
from the floor man, Neela.
I said Neela. You said
mistake.
Nyla.
My mistake.
You say tomato. I say tomato.
Yeah, but it's
I'm
actually
right. You're
somebody's,
wrong.
actually somebody's name. We should probably try to be right more often than we're wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Under the gun, I really like that, huh?
Sparks just picked up pocket kings.
Dun dun. Raise.
A 3-bet. Somebody already raised in front of him with ace queen
With ace
suited.
queen. Let's see if Seat 1's been a raise slash caller. He's made a lot of raises, and then when somebody shows any resistance, he's just been turning into a calling station, which is kind of strange. See what occurs.
Oh, nice
Ooh,
flop.
Huge flop for both of them.
Oh my
Here
God.
comes a check raise and a re-raise and a check raise, raise.
Hank, you better get the money in now. Oh, he's going to raise him on the turn.
I'm gonna raise them on the turn.
If a diamond doesn't fall.
Ace Queen still has to think they're way out ahead, and Pocket Kings only has to dodge.
Necessarily.
Pocket Kings only has to dodge about half a dozen cards here, which is good.
And he doesn't do it.
And that wasn't one of them. Ace Queen catches up. Was no good before the flop.
Oh, he checked and Hank, you bet into the flush.
Diamonds.
Well, it's easy for me to see.
Hank's gonna be upset. Don't show your cards out of frustration, Hank. There we go. Anybody watching online, really, that's one of the biggest thing that peeves me. When you have a monster hand and you get a bad beat, don't show it. Don't give away information about your betting patterns. Don't taunt the guy and say, "Oh, look, I had the best hand. My set got crushed by a sucker draw." Just just throw it away. Hank's a real professional guy. I like watching him play. He throws it away, and the guy has no idea what he had. So
More importantly, we really don't care.
that's
I'm
true.
talking about when we're at the table and you show your card showing that you got beat. You probably sucked out on somebody else a million times.
Exactly.
So we really don't care if you accidentally had the best hand and you lost.
Now we're having like a poker etiquette course here. Anybody out there in 2+2 Formland that wants to write in some of their poker table etiquette, please feel free.
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
Did
There's a raise.
Did Hank make a frustration raise under the gun here?
With ace jack with ace jack suited, I don't
Okay.
think that's a frustration raise.
Okay, didn't see the cards, just assumed.
It's kind of out of position.
And he
but it's
gets
not
2
frustration
callers
raise.
by inferior hands, which is nice.
Oh well,
And
that's
both
done.
of the inferior hands catch up.
Raise.
Well, Hank's gonna get away from this for cheap. He already got somebody raised in front of him.
Good lay down, Hank. Can't win them all. And I really feel for that last suck out there on the ace queen versus the kings. That's a beautiful situation where had that been no limit, all the money's going in on the flop. It's just the way it is, and kings will just have to be upset.
Now they're gonna chop because they
They're gonna
both have
chop.
deuces full of sevens.
Sit down, please.
And Grace got lucky here. Chop, chop. And they're going to chop up
Hank's money.
Hank's $60 or so.
One more small card I used to pass.
For those of you that aren't aware, all the broadcasts here on the internet are archived, and for a nominal, trivial, tiny penance of a fee, you can retrieve them anytime. I know Hank goes back and watches them every night, so that's why I try not to be too rough on him.
Really? Because that's why I try to be rough on him.
Ah, brass nuts. Classic.
See.
See, the problem with commentating on limit poker, which is going to always be a problem with commentating on Limit Poker, is that if we commentate the way we're supposed to, we would have to berate every player so bad. And
Badly, honey, badly.
berate every player about how badly they make raises and calls, and it wouldn't be any fun. So I prefer to just stay lighthearted and talk about the exciting wins and losses. And King Queen, King 3, about as big a hands as you can have with King 3 and King Queen in the blinds and the cutoff. And let's see if an exciting Queen of Hearts
raises
has.
his draw. Nope.
And King 3 doesn't get there.
Oh, great. Oh, I thought.
No, Grace had the draw.
Oh, I'm like, what's going on?
He check raised with the best hand. I was
Oh,
very
well,
nice.
you gotta slap me around sometimes.
Ooh, looks like
This
we're going
must
to
be why my
straddle.
commentary is so horrible. That's not a straddle. She it's an accident. I certainly hope. There's no such thing as a live straddle, Vicky.
It's not live, but it can be
Don't
a
do it.
it can be a dead bet.
The game is private, just for movie.
Yeah, it could be the dumbest move in poker, sure, but Vicky's not going to do that. See?
And folding around,
Grace
around.
is going to raise with
Looks like Grace has got a couple
Jack
cards.
9 of clubs.
Three players.
And she gets called by Ace 10 and Ace 9.
Flops.
And everybody missed. You got to imagine Grace is going to come out and bet.
Yeah, she needs a 10.
And I don't think she's going to get called here.
No,
And this
she
is-
needs nothing.
This is the power of the aggressive play. I mean, how many little pots like this does Grace pick up time after time? Obviously, she does bleed a lot of money when she's not running well, but the aggression pays off. We'll see how it ends up at the end of the night. And looks like raised by Nyla.
Ace. Jack. Offsuit.
And
Ace.
C1 calls with Ace Deuce, and both blinds call
Suited.
with mediocre calling hands.
I'd call with
Suited connectors,
I'd
king,
call
queen.
with the
29?
7-8.
7-8 hits a nice flop, hard draw and a straight draw. I imagine we're going to see a check raise here from him with all of his draws.
There's no point in check raising on when you're out of position.
Yeah, but if he check raises, he probably isolates it at least heads up and gets one of the other drawing hands out of there.
Want anything from Starbucks?
He's not going to get
Guys?
that flush draw.
Want anything from Starbucks? Want anything from Starbucks? Fancies?
And the problem is, I think if he check raises, if he would have check raised the turn or the
Vicky's in there
flop,
with King Queen. She's looking for a jack.
and 7-8 actually has the best hand. He's going to win with a 7. You know, against anything but a set, or obviously a higher flush draw, Lars is such a favorite on that flop. I think I would have liked a.
You missed. I knew you missed when you checked that freaking river.
I think I would have liked a check raise on the flop. At least to give Vicky or another drawing hand or two out of there.
We can't know that. I mean, he can't know that.
Well, I don't know what else you're hoping for with 7-8 of hearts, but a flush draw and a straight draw
You
on
want
the
to
flop.
flop a straight flush.
Oh, yes, exactly. And George folds into the gun. Roberto folds. Nyla folds. I imagine Grace coming in for a
Grace
raise.
limps.
Oh, Grace just limps.
With Jack 8 suited. Hank limps with Ace 8 suited.
See, this is where a good commentator is supposed to say way too many people have seen each flop. And, did
Hank
anybody get a
bets.
piece of that?
Everybody checked, and Hank bet, and he's going to take it down with
Take
his
it
draw.
down.
And
Take
he
it
had
down with the best hand,
too.
Ace 8.
Well,
That's the best, is when you think you're making a move or you're making a strong bet and you actually had the best hand with ace high. And we're about an hour into our commentary here. Nothing
No
huge
huge
yet.
monstrous pots like the 8-16 game of last Wednesday.
And the 30-60 has actually been getting some real monster pots lately. 4 or 5-way action all the way down to the river. Maybe it's getting closer to payday. People got to tighten up a little bit.
Wouldn't that mean loosen up?
No, they got to conserve money until payday.
Oh, I see. Maybe. Pocket sixes
Pocket
for
6
Hank.
is Ace-7. A true race. Yeah, Pocket 6 is probably going to bet out here.
Normalmente aquí son no limit.
Hank picking up a couple nice little pots here. $100 here, $200 there. That adds up. Grace showing off her Spanish. I only speak Spanglish, so I wouldn't know.
She was speaking Spanish? Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not unless
That's
Roberto
better.
speaks Tagalog. I'd say there's a better chance Grace speaks Spanish. And limp under the gun.
Vicky has got ace queen suited.
Definitely going to come in for a raise.
Easy, ladies, my blind.
Exactly.
Roberto folds his blind, which was nothing fancy, 4-9.
Ace 10 limped under the gun? I'm confused.
And Ace 10 is going to get stuck for a little bit of money here, I imagine.
She checks. Check calls. Well, she's got a club, so. Oh, it goes check. Vicky checked.
Kind of surprised there.
How many players they have?
Maybe these two know each other. That was a bit strange.
Oh, yeah? Where's tomorrow? No limit? You're going to play, huh?
An uneventful showdown. So a quick chip count, updated chip count. Looks like seat 1 has lost a substantial stack. Seat 2 has gained a little bit. Seat 3 hovering right around the same at about 1,900. Seat 4 is up about 500 to 2,000. Seat 5 up about 500 to 1,500. Seat 6 up to actually hanging steady to about 2,000. Seat 7 at 1,200. A little bit of a loser so far tonight. Seat 8, a little bit of a loser so far tonight with about 1,000. And Seat 9 was way up and then trickled back down to about 900 or 800.
You could just say they're losing. You don't have to say loser.
Losing, excuse me. No one is a loser. Anybody that's willing to put their money on the table for poker is not a loser in my book.
Really? It goes exactly the opposite.
And King Jack ahead momentarily.
Not anymore.
Ace catches up, which was
That's Lars with
Lars.
the ace.
Ace. And Vicky's going to be upset here when she sees she flopped another hand, which was best, and then went to
No
last.
reason to be upset. She was
No
she
show?
was behind.
I'll check
before the
tonight.
flop.
Okay, I'll check.
No show. Check tonight. ¿Estás grabándolo?
Runs and
You have to
streaks.
use
runs and
7
streaks.
cards.
Say again?
You have to use 7 cards or 5 cards.
That's what I've heard.
5 out of 7. There's times when I wish that the action could just stop before the flop.
Or at the flop. Or at the turn.
flop. Well, but then again, I do my fair amount of sucking out, I'm sure.
That's true.
That was me.
And
Anyhow.
looks like we're going to chop. King High was ahead previously, but chop as it goes.
Have you been eating my candy?
Sure have.
She plays 6. Ouch.
¿La voz también sale?
And this is one of the things you don't get to see on the exciting Travel Channel, World Poker Tour, ESPN, is all the chops and folds and all that exciting stuff. We only get to see the true drama.
That's right. This is live, unedited, unrehearsed, unscripted.
No
Raw.
BS. Raw.
30-60 limit hold'em action.
And we got 2 more limpers.
6-9 of diamonds, huh?
Big lick.
Okay.
There we
Bow
go.
down to Vicky.
Big lick.
Flop
It's 2
top
pairs.
2.
And of course, nobody's in there with really anything to draw to.
Well, she's got the only hand that.
Yeah,
What else?
little bit of
anybody else could
overkill.
have?
Never know, 2 overcards.
She get a bumper sticker that says, "I don't peel for overcards."
Nice.
And then I can get you a bumper sticker that says, "I do peel for overcards."
That's true. Sometimes for all my money.
Nada.
What made you use inundation first? Oh, because of the inundation. Yeah, exactly.
Young one.
Nice.
Yeah. Young one is at his house. Okay, is that cool?
George's post under 2+2 is normally Geo Metro something. I don't know. Look for something that says GEO. It's like a little blue dot or drop or something. It's at the very beginning of this thread. It's a little blue dot.
Well, very beginning, right after Kev math. Let's not forget.
Oh, excuse me. It's a drop of water.
What did
not
you
a
call
dot.
it?
It looked like a blue dot.
You're a blue dot.
And Grace is going to raise here on the button with 2 cards. It's really all she needs to raise on the button.
Ace? No, Queen 10. Sorry,
Queen 10.
I'm confused.
And I'm a little confused too. Does she have the best hand here or no? Oh,
Yes.
Ace 9. No, Ace
She
9
does.
has the best hand.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Ace
Oh,
9.
nice suck out for Grace. Makes her straight.
Yep, that's gotta hurt. Sparky's gonna be a little upset here.
Well, she just calls. She doesn't have the nuts. Most likely it's good, though, unless he's got Jack 10.
Right. Which I don't think Sparky was betting all the way for value with his gut shot draw.
¿Cómo se llama? Suicidal.
Small blind, big blind.
That was an awesome hand. Good job.
She came away with ace king, ace queen. That's the hand she wins, right?
Ah, Masher, good point. Another pet peeve etiquette. When somebody says to you in no limit, or even in limit with somebody's really short stack, I put you all in. As if it's some type of power trip that if they say that, you cannot fold under any circumstance.
Okay. No point in check raising when you're out of position. This is from OLE16. What I meant, there's no point in him check raising because he says, how do you check raise in position? You can't. But there's no point in check raising out of position because you're going to have to bet into the person on the turn.
Well, I think the point on that hand was that I would have check raised, but he was up against 2 calling stations. And the real power of the check raise is that it works kind of as a semi-bluff.
Well,
if
it
you
works to
don't
get a
have
free
the hand.
card.
Well, it either works, not necessarily. It works either as a semi-bluff to get people to fold when you have strong draws, or it works to get more money into the pot when you have the best hand. The problem is he couldn't get him to fold because he was against 2 calling stations, and he couldn't get more money into the pot because he didn't have the best hand. He just had the best draw. So
Oh, right. With the draw, you're check raising to
build the pot.
I was going to say you're check raising for the free card, and that's why I suggested that he shouldn't check raise out of position because he check raises, and then the turn comes, he's first. He's betting a draw again, but he wanted he check raise for the free card, so it doesn't do him any good.
When you say check raise for the free card, we have to assume that there's people behind him that can fold to the check raise. But as it was, somebody already bet and a call, even if he raised.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's no point in raising. It just happened to be that his check raised.
But Ole 16 journeyman. That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm glad that you said that because
I'm glad you brought it up because then we can go back and revise our commentary. We can go back and revise our commentary later.
But I meant to say there's no point in him raising his draw because
when
he's
you
out
pull
of position and he's going to have to bet into his draw.
When you pull this up on the archive, you'll see that we go back and edit our commentary to be perfect. So we'll get that right next time.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but it's a good point. I think
there's no editing here. No, I'm kidding. He's right.
And nobody has a hand here whatsoever. Ace King High is good. 9-10 had nothing. Had the good old pair draw.
At least he didn't say anything mean to me. He actually has those cute little smileys with the question mark, like he was so confused.
That's
What
true.
did she say? She's driving me nuts.
Well, sometimes there's just so much going on in here, and there's so much action on the 30-60 table that we might misstep with some of our comments.
I didn't misstep. I meant exactly what I said. I just didn't explain it correctly.
Okay, moving on. And it looks
Hank's
like
gonna raise.
Hank, you
Come
playing the
on,
main
let me
event?
see those beautiful cards. Queen 10
Are you
of
playing the main
diamonds.
event?
Okay, never mind.
One chip too many.
and
Vicky,
Vicky calls.
3 bets with
Oh,
pocket
3 bets with
fives.
fives. There we are again with 3 bets.
You playing the main event? Vegas?
Race.
Well, if she's just Cole's call, it's like a blind defending.
And
But
here
she thinks
comes
she
the
has the
queen.
best hand. Ooh, he raises. Well, he's got the best hand. That's probably a good idea then.
You know, anytime somebody is way more interested in their conversation than the fact that they're raising, I tend to think they probably have the best hand. And Hank misses a bet there. You know, another problem with
I don't like the missing the bet.
I don't like the missing the bet either. I don't know if Vicky's going to call him anyway. She probably will have to because of the size of the pot. But one of the problems with playing with people that you play with so frequently is you almost, as much as you want to get in those value bets, it almost seems rude to a point when you're playing with the same people. And I know a lot of people are gonna
Argue with you like
Are
I
gonna
am
be a-
about to right now, because that's
Exactly.
absolutely not
It's
true.
absolutely not the case, but at the same time, when you're playing poker with the same rotating group of 20 or 30 people, you know, missing a value bet shy of offending somebody, maybe it's a trade-off sometimes. I don't know.
Where nobody is offended, I guarantee you. We play all day long. Half the time, we're going to have to take money off the same people.
That's
They're
true.
going to take it back, and that's just the way it goes. I'd check raise my own mother if she bet into me.
Oh, God, you've been reading too many books.
So I could take it tonight.
And nice flop for 4-5.
It's a bad hand when he puts it on the side. That's his tell.
Heads up.
That's Vicky. I was looking, I mean, not Vicky, Grace. I keep getting them mixed up today.
And Vicky's still going to fire out here, I'm sure.
That would be Grace.
Oh, why are you messing me up now? Excuse me.
Ace king?
Grace shows her monster 4.
And calls his hand, too. She's like, turns over a 4 and says, oh, you got ace king, huh?
No, he said ace king. She repeated it.
Oh. That would have been cool. She was like, nope, ace king, no good.
I
Throw it
think
in
they're
the
already
muck.
sold out. I heard they're
Got
sold out.
4. Yeah.
Yeah, 6,600, yep.
Players at the table talking about the fact that with as many satellite events as there's been, the main event of the World Series of Poker is all but sold out. If you're not one of the lucky 6,600 people that won a seat for $12 off of Bog Dog or Party Poker or any of those other sites, then I think you're out about now.
They were trying to go for 8,800, but they didn't even think it was with
6,600. Can you imagine the minefield of 6,600
They're
players?
playing 11-handed, huh?
They're playing 11-handed. They're going to play 4 starting days or 3 starting days. I can't remember. And the problem is with so many people that are in there on a free roll, they legitimately won in on a satellite or something for $12 or $50. It's, I think, for especially the pros, it's going to be legitimate minefield. And here we missed pocket aces because we've been yapping our, flapping our yap. And King 6 check raises in the blind position, which has got to be scary when the board pairs a medium card 8.
Vicky's going for a flush. Oh well. That flush draw is over.
Flush draw is over, and the Kings has got to think he's all the more strong here.
Ain't no good.
She
And
raised
Lizette
8
continues to
What?
read.
8 no good. What?
Lizette continues
No,
to raise
nuts
them.
aren't good. Now we know you don't have it.
And aces are good. Big pot for Lizette with aces. That's
See, you can make enough money on your good hands that you don't have to play
I
crap.
get nothing.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
what is that, about 6,
I have pocket aces.
540, 600 in there?
That's a big pot. So I was going to
more than
mention,
600.
we're going to have the Live at the Bike booth
Yeah, sure.
at the World Series of Poker, you guys. So go to the World Series, and we're going to have Bart Hansen, our favorite commentator here at Live at the Bike, and Evelyn, our producer, is going to be there too. So you can introduce yourself to her, and I'm sure any questions or comments you have, she will feel free to talk to you. Just don't be rude.
And, we were there a couple weeks ago, Jen, and no matter what limit you're comfortable at playing, there is something in that conference hall for everybody.
Oh, my gosh. If you can get there.
It's amazing. The Rios put on a pretty awesome event. The booths, like the one that we'll be having there live at the bike, there's some great booths, and there's literally games for everybody. I saw some table games just going in the middle of the room where there was more money on the table than my house is worth, and there was plenty of also, $100 no limit, $25 satellites, $50 satellites.
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
won a
last longer
$50
term.
satellite.
That's right.
We were there.
Jen took down a $50 satellite. Now we got Ace Queen raising. Don't know what 9-Jack's doing in there with her, but more power to her.
She's got a draw.
A gut shot, but didn't make it. Man, Lee, that's going to take down 2 sizable pots here in a row. No, but going back to the Rio, they're running a second chance tournaments every night, which are nice. So as soon as you sign off from watching live at the bike here at 11, you can run down there, get into a $200 second chance tournament.
So I think at the Live at the Bike booth we might have memorabilia, T-shirts, hats, possibly. Yes, it's been confirmed. We're gonna be giving away CDs, doing raffles, give away lots of prizes. So make sure if you're in Vegas or if you don't have anything to do, Russ, McGinley, go on down to Las Vegas and check out the Live at the Bike.
It's going to be a cornucopia of exciting bicycle gear.
A cornucopia.
Cornucopia.
Okay, spell cornucopia.
Yeah, right. Can barely spell my first name.
Yeah, I know that's true. Okay, we got Ace King
against King Queen. One of those exciting dominated hands I like to put all my money in with.
Oh,
and King Queen catches up.
Gosh, Scott, you are horrible at this. No wonder they think we're terrible commentators. We
That's
never
what I'm telling
know
you.
that somebody's going to suck out.
I'm telling you, outfloppability, guys. You got to have it in limit poker.
Outfloppability, whatever.
Poor Ace King.
Well, it shouldn't be poor Ace King because it should be in the muck already. Shouldn't have anything.
I have mixed feelings about the way of playing your overcards. But at this point, I can't imagine he thinks our Ace King is good. I think this might be a frustration call just to see what he has at this point.
Well, I'm not paying $60 to see what anybody has. Ever.
30. Sí. What's the last day?
And Nyla rightfully just throws her hand away. Doesn't show her Ace King and tell him how bad he played by sucking on her. It's just the way it is.
That's right. Nobody cares.
So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. July, see? June is 30. Correct. Anything in between.
What do we got here for hands?
Raise.
Wow. Euro trash.
Vicky raises under the gun. Vicky raises under the gun with King Queen. We'll get to 2+2 in a minute.
Okay. Back to the hand. Back to the action.
I want to see this hand first. I don't know why.
King
'cause
Queen
it
against
looks like crap,
Ace 3 against just heads up. Okay. Pretty
nice
decent flop for King Queen.
Queen.
And Ace 3 still going to push it.
Draw into a king.
No, my mistake.
Oh.
My mistake. Vicky
Check.
bets it.
Okay, so what do we got here on 2+2?
Well, we
reading?
got a fact that Eurotrash plays way too many video games. That he knew what the blue slime from something or other was.
I don't understand.
He's referring to the little blue dot thing or slime or
it's
drop
blue
of water.
slime from the NES game Dragon Warrior.
Eurotrash, dude.
Oh, that's
no
cool.
No more video games.
Hey, if you know where I can get a Nintendo, email me at Live at the Bike. I'm in the market for an NES system. I'm not even joking.
Nintendo Classic. I used to get killed in Mario Brothers by all my friends.
Wow. If you get killed in Mario Brothers?
It's pretty bad.
Wow.
You don't even want
Weren't
to see
you
me
ever
play
a
Tecmo
kid?
Bowl.
Oh, I'll school you. Okay, we've got a raise from seat 7.
Who's been probably the most
King
consistent player
10
so far.
offsuit.
Yeah. You know, I have to say I like it, though. He's been consistent. He's been only raising premium hands, making the re-raises. So far, by the book, per se, Roberto's been the better player here at the table.
That just happened to be because he took down the pot.
No, I mean, even when he had ace-queen, he 3-bet it. When so far, when he thought he's had the best hand, he's bet it like he's got it.
Oh, that's the blue dot, huh?
That's the blue slime.
We're doing a scroll up on the 2+. Wait! Stop right there. Eurotrash's little icon is a character from The Simpsons, and I'm going to get so much crap because I don't know who this is. I'm going to have to think about it for a little while, but I'm not as much of a Simpsons geek as I thought I am. So Eurotrash, please tell me the name of your
Brass Nuts.
Simpsons character.
Going back to the commentary, we're talking a lot about the commentary too. So
Okay.
for those of you guys out there that don't have the ability to watch live at the bike and sign on at 2+2,
At the same-
need to buy a faster computer or something, because this is where the money's at on 2+2.
Vicky got her straight.
Vicky hit her straight, and A7 obviously can't call.
What? Of course he can.
He's betting it for her.
It's Lars.
Dealer had to have a special shirt here to give.
Right on, Lars.
I know.
Brass Nuts, I appreciate the clarification. You're just mentioning about that. It is a little difficult to keep the commentary going sometime, and we appreciate it. But you are correct. I do play No Limit a lot more often than I play Limit. Jen's the much better Limit player, so
Thank you.
listen to her.
Okay.
And you're also right. It's very boring to watch people play proper
Yeah,
Limit
small
poker.
blind.
That's why we're glad we got some wild horses in this game.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Orange King. No more video games for you either, because you knew what the blue slime thing was also.
She's in.
Okay, so
Gracie?
back to the action.
Baby, how are you?
That's not what I meant. Okay, the check raise
Okay,
for the
just
free.
let the check raise comment
No,
go, Jen, 'cause
I-
it's all over.
Oh, that's not
we can
what
have
I
we
meant.
can have old
I meant-
16, the journeyman, come
I
down
meant
here
he
later.
shouldn't raise because he's out of position. It
Ole
just
16.
happened to be that if he raised, it was a check raise.
John Away is in charge.
Anyways,
Oh, good God.
it's okay.
Call me up, I'll explain it to you.
Yeah, don't give out your number on this.
Wouldn't that be bad for you? Okay.
Not really.
Punch, punch, punch. Okay, what do we got here?
7-9 against pocket sixes. A race a little, do they know? 7-9 hits their open-ended.
She needs one of her those sixes.
Sixes are a jack. Now a heart would be good. I think Vicky's got a ton of draws here. Yeah, I like the raise. This is where I like the raise with the monster
she's
draw.
in position.
Because anything other than an overpair, the guy should lay down his sixes. I mean, really, what is he hoping she has? And I
A
think
busted draw.
and see, he's got a check here, and she bets, and he's got to think he's no good after the raise on the turn.
Oh, nice.
You
Nice,
know-
Vicky.
Nice play, Vicky. That's a sexy limit move right there. Normally, it's hard to pull off the bluff and limit. No limit, it's so much easier too because you have the advantage of having bigger chip stacks. But that's about the best
Thank you, Vic.
the best setup that we've seen so far for a river bluff. Nicely done. We can talk about that all night long on 2+2 now.
Not much
Hey, girl.
going on yet. Lizette comes
Raise.
in for a raise on the button
Loose call.
with 6 ace. Ace 6 offsuit.
Heads up.
And
I don't even try to
5-10
make that steal with ace
Yeah,
6.
but 5-10 does make what is a big time loose call. And he says, "Yay, loose call," and bets it out.
Yeah, well, that's what she gets.
That's not really what she gets. She had the best hand going in, and she's not known to be somebody that usually steals. So,
Yeah, she's not known to be somebody who usually steals, so
when she raises, you definitely should not call with 5-10. Just an opinion. I have been wrong once before.
yeah.
What's the salad?
It's all right.
She doesn't usually steal, but now she had to give up that pot representing, oh, I do usually steal.
Too late now.
They call it dried chicken salad.
If she had anything, she could have taken down this 10.
Yeah, I know. If it's not moist, it's horrible. Chicken.
They call it dried chicken salad.
Getting interesting
Pocket
commentary on food.
tens. From
Pot's
seat
been raised.
6, that's George. Our resident 2+2er.
And another loose call.
Ace Queen just smooth calls in the small
Not a
blind.
loose call. My mistake. One of the situations where I think you need to call. Wow.
Yes, sir.
I think Tens is going to bet this all the way, thinking his pair is best. All he knows is he has to dodge the queen.
Oh, Ace Queen's gonna check raise.
Okay, we're heads up.
No check raise, just a
No,
smooth call.
on the turn. There it is.
Pot's been raised.
Now let's see if Tens can get away from here, or if he thinks
Yep.
Roberto is representing the 8.
Uh-huh.
Nice lay down. Nice lay down. George saved himself. There are several bets where most limit players would have, out of frustration, called it down, or thought that the small blind was representing the queen, maybe only having the 8. So good laydown by Georgie there.
Georgie.
Georgie.
Georgie. What's he eating? Looks like a remnant of a salad.
Some of the 2+2ers talking about what avatar or symbol they like to use next to their name for their quotes. I really love the one we saw. There was a little video clip of Teddy KGB humping the TV. That was pretty cool. Whoever's got that one.
You rule.
You do rule.
Vicky
raises and takes
King
down the
Jack
blind.
and takes it.
I'm really surprised. Usually Hank and George adjust for the game a little bit better. I'm surprised we're not seeing more pre-flop raises out of them with mediocre holdings since, well, A, there's a lot of calling stations after the flop, but before the flop, we've seen a lot of folds around.
Well, you know the book says you're supposed to tighten up your game against a loose game.
No, this isn't loose. This is like passive, weak calling. I don't know what the hell it is. It's like not very many calls before the flop, but once anybody sees the flop, they're calling down with any 2 cards. So.
Well, maybe he's thinking if I raise with crappier hands, I'm only going to get called by somebody who has me smoked.
That's
so why risk it?
Well, because it is called gambling for a reason. If there was no risk involved, it wouldn't be the number one pastime of Americans.
We know that I thought the number one pastime of Americans was baseball.
No, it's the all-American game.
Well, anyhow, there is risk involved, of course, but
Ace of spades.
he can minimize his risk by choosing his spots
What is
better.
this? Vicky exposes an ace under the gun and doesn't play it? I'm very confused. And
That was a little strange.
the button raises. Small blind folds, big blind folds.
Raise with Jack 10 offsuit.
Jack 10, he had the best hand. He took it down.
Good logo hand before.
Maybe she accidentally turned it up.
I know she accidentally turned it up. I don't think it was
Oh.
on purpose, but I'm just saying Vicky not playing an ace from any position is a little surprising to me.
Oh, well, it could have been
Not
ace 3 offsuit. She's not going to play that.
And Jack 7 is more powerful?
It was suited.
Oh, that's right, suited. Suited. What was I thinking?
Mila has my favorite hand. Look. 10-9 of hearts, specifically. Yes! She comes in for a raise! Ooh, this is the most exciting thing I've seen all night. Vicky, fold. Fold.
And this goes to our...
Yeah! Oh, she called with 4-9. Oh, yeah.
And
There's the 10.
she smoked.
Usually when I have 10-9 of hearts, I just like to just flop the nuts straight, just straight
to
away.
make it easy,
but,
huh?
but I'll take top pair.
And the funny thing is, kind of like tournament poker, where anytime nobody's entered the pot yet, a raise is usually acceptable with a much
Anything.
wider
You're gonna
array
play
of cards. Yeah, I
raise.
really like middle position. If nobody's come in and nobody looks like they're already going for chips, might as well raise with any 2 cards, especially suited connectors, 2 big cards, ace something suited.
Yeah, I wouldn't say any 2 cards, not get carried away.
Well, any
I
2
wouldn't raise
reasonable
with
cards.
10-8 suited. It has to be 10-9.
Has to be 10-9, right?
George raised.
You know, one thing we haven't got
That's
a lot of feedback from the internet crowd out there, the 2+2, is what games they would like to see. You know, our schedule is flexible. If there's something you guys really want to see, bring it up. Maybe
As
we
long
can
as
make
it
it
only
happen.
has 2 cards.
As long as it only has 2 cards. We're not playing any crazy. No,
So we could technically play a stud game.
Yeah, theoretically, that'd be a
It
little
would
difficult.
be, yeah, we'd have to have it on the widescreen.
I think so.
We'd have to show the entire table the whole time, but
Well, any type of game that you'd like to see, limits, freeze outs, something. We're going to try to bring something a little bit different to you tomorrow night, which I'm looking forward to a lot. I'd almost prefer to play in, but. And we've shortened up a little bit, only 7 players right now at the table.
yeah, Grace and Lizette take a break.
Smoke break, probably.
I was just going to say, hopefully not.
$1.
$1 for the drop.
Yeah.
Takes it down.
Save 20.
What do you mean? I would have won the hand.
7 8.
No.
You have king 7.
Still would have won.
Where, oh, where has everyone gone?
It's a cute little song there, John.
Yeah, I know.
Or Jack, Jack, Jack.
Looks like a few kings and aces out. Nothing too powerful, though.
Vicky
Been raised.
raises. Ace, deuce, offsuit. Oh,
Told you.
I guess you did. You showed me.
And she gets called down by both blinds.
Well, she has the best hand, and the kings are drawing slim.
Ace deuce still good. Let's see if somebody gets sassy and wants to go for a little check raise here, representing either
I don't
flush
think
draw or
either of
queen.
those players are going to pull that move.
That's
oh,
true.
I thought it was George.
No, it's
Roberto. He
Roberto, and I don't think he will. Slick,
Almost.
sneaky, sneaky, and Nyla folds. Ace high is good.
Lay down 210.
Neela. I knew you were
Neela.
pronouncing that
Wow,
incorrectly.
Neela. I'm gonna get
God.
that right one
Why don't-
point
I'm-
tonight.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
going
you,
to start
Floor Man.
smacking you every single time. Why don't you write it
Neela.
out as the sound spelling?
You mean phonetically?
Phonetically, exactly.
Neela. And here comes back Lisette, and I'm
And
sure Grace will be shortly
Maybe they
behind.
went to the potty.
Yeah, women do have to go
Lizette.
to...
Lisette?
Lisette.
Lizette.
With a Z.
Isn't that what I said?
I probably said Lisette. I also say nuclear.
This pawn has been raised.
Nuclear.
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 Nuclear. Just call me George Bush Jr.
You wish. All right, we've got pocket jacks.
Okay, you call like call.
Raise.
No, there was a raise by Hank with King Jack and pocket jacks smooth calls.
Don't know if I like the smooth call with pocket jacks.
Family show.
Pocket fours folds. That's good.
Oh, okay, then go for it.
Oh,
And-
Grace has a 3. She is in the big blind.
Wow.
And said, well, pocket jacks called, I call.
And pocket jack's a huge misstep there. If she raises, Grace has to fold her 3-5. I don't care how crazy you think Grace is. If she's up against a raise and a re-raise, she's definitely
Yeah,
letting go of
pocket
3-5.
jack. Yeah, pocket jacks didn't.
Pocket jacks
raise.
cost themselves the flop here, for sure.
And now Grace is gonna raise.
Here comes the raise.
Raise.
And Neela might be able to get away from her jacks, but
No,
no.
no. Well, she's got to overpair the board. She can't put Grace on a 3.
Let's see if Neela bets out here. No,
No,
just
she
going to call.
checks.
Check and call.
Take a 3.
Okay, ladies.
And Neela going to be pissed that she didn't 3-bet to isolate the big blind. Huge mistake in limit poker.
It's not good enough to raise. It's not good enough to call.
Thank you, Grace.
Sometimes I'm a fan of the limp or the smooth call. Not often.
No.
though.
Just don't make a habit of it. Play every single hand like you have aces until you have to play it otherwise.
Young one. Mentioning that he doesn't know if it's a good idea to eat or not at the poker table. I really have no opinion on the matter other than the fact that sometimes when you're sitting there for 4 or 5 hours and my stomach is rumbling, I'd rather get some food than kind of be thrown off by the fact that I'm starving.
I think it's the best place to eat.
But I think it's a great place to eat. But people do tend to tighten up when they're eating. They seem kind of preoccupied. And if somebody makes a big raise or makes a big move, whether it be in limit or no limit when they're eating, I usually consider them pretty genuine.
Look.
3 pairs. Ooh, and 9s set. Unfortunately, kings or 7s probably going to be scared by that ace.
Well, 7's raises on the... And
No, C1 has the set.
Oh, thank you. I'm so confused. There's so many 9s out there.
And at this point, Grace is drawing dead. She's going to let it go. Pocket kings, nice laydown on the flop. Luckily, the ace scared him off.
Well, it has somebody raise in front of him.
Exactly. If that ace is any undercard, kings are going to lose a lot of money there.
Is that what it's called? The rabbit card?
Yes, the rabbit cam.
The rabbit hunt would have shown that Lars was drawing dead.
Yes.
And Grace was too. Well, no, Lars wasn't. Grace
Lars was drawing the 2 outs.
Yeah. Lars was good with the kings.
Huge flop for 9s, though.
He had a
Huge.
2-outer. That never happens when I've got pocket nines. So I just don't play.
Pot's been
I
raised.
shouldn't play.
Neela raises with King Queen suited. Not a bad raising hand if nobody's entered the pot, but gets called only by Ace 5.
I think Vicky raised.
No, I think it was Neela. And King is good. And Roberto has to be excused from the table, actually. As you know, we don't allow electronics, cell phones, earphones, headphones, any type of phones at the table just for the integrity of the game, even though we're on a pretty severe delay.
5-minute delay, yeah.
Don't want any...
no cheating.
Don't want any action or collusion or anything that could make us look bad. Although I have seen several players, Dr. BB, Mo, a couple people right after the 4 hours is out, immediately make a beeline for the outside and call their friends, family, whatever, saying, damn it, when I had that ace-9, they had the best hand. Damn it, when I folded that straight and there was a 4-card flush, they had the best hand. So that's pretty comical.
So I tried some restaurant in Beverly Hills. It had so much rum. After like 3 bites, I was halfway drunk. It was soaked in rum. You know how it is? Rum sits, you could taste the rum. It's like, whoa. Yeah. It was very good, but it was soaked in rum,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Roberto.
What do we got here?
Pot's raised.
Ooh, 7-8. I was just gonna say, I hope she raises with 7-8 suited. It's probably number 15 on my list of favorite hands, just because you got to go through all the suits of the 10-9 first, and then you got to have pocket 10s and pocket aces, 10-4 offsuit. So, but she took down the pot. Oh, it got peaceful in here all of a sudden. I'm going to ask Grace one day, why do you sit in your chair like that? Is it more comfortable? I don't know. I try to sit like that sometimes. I can only do it for so long. Grace is going to raise with ace, jack offsuit, and Vicky has pocket jacks on the button. She will 3-bet. She doesn't want the blinds in there. Grace calls. Grace is drawing to an ace. No can do. And Vicky going back. Grace is going amok. Vicky takes it down.
It's a shame to win a little hand there with the jacks.
Great to win a hand with jacks.
I always prefer winning over losing. It's just
Thank Vicky.
If I could be guaranteed to win $1 every time I put money in the pot but never lose, I'd take it.
Yeah, so would I, actually.
Well, there you go.
Now, the thing with like jacks and aces, for some reason, you seem to either win a small pot or lose a large one.
Pocket 9s for seat 6.
A 3-bet,
Three
sir,
bets
3 bets.
is a small blind. Ace 5 was original raiser, and he's
See, and there's a nice raise because you isolate the original raiser and you no longer have to contend against the
big blind.
The big blind.
And now you're done.
And unfortunately,
Well,
he's no good there.
There's
But,
no
you know,
reason to bet to that flop.
But he showed strength, and now he bets out. You know, C1's got to think that his kicker might not be any good.
Nobody's going to fold an ace. This is the limit.
See, and I think if he wanted to execute that, he needed to bet out there, unless he check raises here. Yeah. That's a shame.
I don't think so. I think the guy's going to call all the way anyway. But Rabbit Camp shows a 9 of spades. He would have made a set on the river.
See, I think once C1 didn't 4-bet prior to the flop, you knew he didn't have a monster hand. I think if you continue to bet there, either A, you're going to win when he folds, or B, you're going to get lucky and hit your 9, your 2-outer, which is not to be expected, but it's a possibility. And C1 really looked like he wanted to fold there on the flop.
Pot's been raised.
Ace, Jack for seat 8. and ace-jack smooth calls for seat 1. I don't like that. Raise or fold?
Heads up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ace-jack and seat 1 was original razor. The other ace-jack's in the blind. Okay. That's better.
That makes more sense.
That makes a lot more sense.
First one to bet here wins, I'm sure. No, ace-jack and a peel one off, and ace-jack and a bet it. So. Okay, now the first one to bet is going to win it.
Well, ace-jack's got... The other ace-jack's got a club draw, so he's not going anywhere.
Seat 1 was effectively
Rabbit
free rolling
cam
there.
was the 7 of hearts. Doesn't help anymore.
They would have chopped it, but seat 1 was on a nice free roll there as of the turn. Actually, on the flop, he was on a free roll. And one of the nice things about Live at the Bike is we get some of the more veteran, seasoned dealers, which means limited mistakes and a fairly quick pace. If you notice, Nardo here is...
What'd you call him?
Nardo.
Is that a nickname?
No, it's his last name, I think.
Oh, because we like to call him Greg.
Yeah, no, his last name is so much cooler. Nardo? I mean, come on. Yeah, exactly. See, there you go. So, Nardo is an excellent dealer. And we get a lot of the more seasoned dealers here at Live at the Bike, which is awesome.
He always has very nice hair.
We should play that.
Good fellow, Stiley.
With the pot, if you scoop it, you can. No, you can scoop the pot or get half of it or get none of it. There's 2 turn cards and 2 rivers.
George,
there's 2.
don't teach Hank.
Boards.
He's already really good.
Yeah.
Although any poker lessons that these people have to give to each other, I'm sure they already know, just because
You can't combine. Yeah.
they all play.
Raise it.
Seat
all
6,
the time.
talking about a game that they play a lot in Europe. It's kind of filtering over the U.S. It's similar to Hold'em, but you play with 2 boards, and you can actually...
Oh, aviation?
Yeah, well, I think it's only called that because it started out at the Aviators Club in Europe, but it's... I don't know what the actual name of the game is. Ace-King, it's pocket 10s, capped before the flop. But it's kind of interesting because you play 2 boards, so you can either win the whole pot, half the pot, or none of the pot. It's kind of like a high-low game, but just you're actually going for the high on both boards. Pretty interesting. Pocket 10's way out ahead after this flop. And Grace going to peel. She loves to peel. I'm sure she's going to let it go at this point.
Or not.
Or not.
Maybe she thinks she's tied with Vicky.
Yeah, or she thinks maybe Vicky has ace-queen or ace-jack, something like that.
Ace-king.
She got Vicky to check the river.
Yeah, Vicky. I don't know. A lot of value bet being missed tonight. Of course, nobody likes getting raised on the river when somebody has like jacks or queens, but...
So there is a game where you can...
Good. Can I get a setup?
Well, somebody is letting me know what the name of the character is, but I can't see. It says the results are in white. I'm guessing he wrote it in a different color so that I can't see it right now. Ah! His name is Gunter.
Gunter, sweet.
Ah, thank you for that. Our producer working the computer. Ha ha ha. Ah!
No way.
That!
Better, huh?
Yeah! 7!
10-4, big buddy. 10-4.
Best commentating duo ever.
That's okay. Didn't mean to bother you.
Oh, okay.
He's
so we
only
got
a little bit biased.
We actually got a post here by Brass Nuts. What I'd like to see: less freeze-outs, more cash games. As high stakes as the bike can get a game going, no limit is preferred, but I personally don't really mind limit that much. Stud is boring to watch. Pot limit Omaha could be fun. Pot limit Omaha
That would be really great, but that's a 4-card game.
Quite honestly, really hard to get a strong pot limit Omaha game going anywhere outside of Vegas. The level of play and the level of money, I've seen very few places outside of Vegas that spread it. Less freeze-outs, more cash games, I can get into that.
But if you come to the bike and you put your name on the board for a pot limit Omaha game,
I will
and you
play.
get enough people, they will start any
They'll
game
start
you want
any
to play
game.
here.
If you want to bring down
If you want to come down here and play Staduki with 3 of your friends, if you're willing to pay the rake, we will spread the game, but on Live at the Bike, we might not be able to get it going. So thank you for your suggestions. We'll keep those in mind.
A few people, just to refer to Brassnet's comments here, a few people have asked, why can't we get a higher limit game and whatnot. The truth is, especially in a higher limit game than this, a lot of the players that can either afford to or play 400, 800, 300, 600 for a living, they don't want anybody to see the way they play. They definitely don't want anybody having video footage archived to go back and see their body language versus the cards that they have. I mean, you got to think people that are doing this day in and day out for a living don't want their opponents to have that much information on them. So it has been a little bit difficult to get people to agree to spread a really high no limit game or a really high limit game here, 300, 600. 400, 800, which is going at all times about 4 tables away, but just hard to get those type of people to commit to play.
That makes sense, but you would think that would help them. Number one, because when they play such high limits, they shouldn't have to worry about anything. They should be aware of everything that they're doing, that their opponents are doing, and for them to go on live and have them archived, not only will they get to see if they're making any mistakes, but
I agree and I disagree. It's just,
it's just.
I think the people that are doing it for a living are much more hesitant about things such as Live at the Bike. But I'll tell you what, that $1,000 minimum no limit game that we spread here, that's a pretty big game on certain nights. Anytime you see a
Gore, Jonas, and Mo.
a $10,000 pot, that's pretty decent sized pots.
Yeah. So that's a big game. But we'll see what we can do.
It's a big game, but I totally understand the posters. Sometimes it doesn't play all that big. Sometimes it plays a little low. But yeah, we'll definitely try to accommodate.
There's no limit to how far Live at the Bike can go, so
that's true.
You just have to stay tuned. You never know.
One
day we're running 200 no limit. The next day, Legends of Poker is going to be here. We could have Doyle Brunson and Greg Raymer all at the same table. You never even know. August
is a big month for the Bicycle Casino. Anybody that's making summer travel plans to come out to LA, make it in August and come down to the Bike because there is non-stop a big tournament action going. There'll be a couple side tables with the world's best, and it'll be a good time.
I think we've missed like 5 hands, but
there's been a lot of folding, actually. A lot of folding and a lot of raising of the blinds.
What do we got here? So my buddy Matt is watching the commentary. So if you're out there, Matt, I know that means what you're not doing. I'm going to just leave it at that. So what do we got here? Grace is going to fold.
A lot of folding.
Vicky took a break.
Vicky took a break, and Vicky's actually made a little run at it. She looks like she's about up $600 or $800, so maybe she's taking a little breather.
Now, Vicky, I can practically guarantee, has gone for a cigarette smoke.
Yes.
Opposed to a cigar smoke. Ace Queen in the small blind. Anything else? No. They're going to chop it anyway.
Ha 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 ha.
Deuce 5 against Ace Queen. Oh, I saved so much money.
Moving on. Lars looks like the most bored poker player I think I've ever seen in my life.
He hasn't been talking to anybody.
He hasn't been talking or playing. I feel like I just want to go out there and give him a hug or something.
I was just going to say that. It's kind of cute.
I wasn't going to go that far, but it's kind of like when I see somebody going to the movies by themselves, I always want to ask them to come sit with me because I just feel guilty if you have to go to the movies by yourself, unless that's really your type of thing.
Yeah, like that one guy when we went to see Star Wars at 5 o'clock in the morning. He was cool. If he's out there. Hello. What do we got here?
What kind of a deck you asked was this?
And here we go. No action. Now we're back to blaming the deck.
No, nobody asked for a setup. It's way too late. We're allowed to change the cards only every half an hour. Every hour on the half hour.
Nice.
Oh, so we did change the card 7 minutes ago. We must have been blabbing about something else. Probably more meaningful than the deck change.
Yeah. Let me put in another.
And here we go. We're off. Nobody has a hand yet. George folds.
Okay, now we've got a-
And
She's gonna raise the pocket fours.
Neela is going to raise with
And
pocket
everybody's
fours.
gonna fold. Well,
Hank might defend.
Ace deuce. Come on, no. Come on, no.
Ah,
Put it in the
Hank.
block. Oh, well. He's gonna
And that
fold now.
didn't really help.
Check.
Oh, Hank's going to bet out like as if he's got a pair.
Oh, and she
Ooh,
raises.
and Neela says, that's no good. I raise, buddy.
Well, he tried.
He tried. That's all you can do. If you're in the pot, you might as well make a stab at it, right?
He wasn't gonna win otherwise.
He took a stab and Neela shot him. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight.
Thank you very much.
And don't try to play limit poker against women.
What? Why would you say that?
Because for some reason, it's been my experience that women limit players are better than women no-limit players. They seem to have more patience. They're more calm, cool,
I would just say
collective.
don't play poker against women, period, because they're like cats. You never know what they're thinking. That is, I hate to play with women because it's like the guys, you know exactly what's going on. The women are just nuts. They play any two suited cards. I mean, that's stereotype. It's not necessarily true. I'm just saying.
Ooh.
What is going on? They're chopping.
It looked like somebody wanted to raise, but that was just Vicky posting her blind.
Enrique, bring me a green deck. This is really bad.
Now they're changing the deck for a legitimate
up.
reason. The cards are bent.
Yeah, and then they don't,
There's a good
have any
deck
hands.
change by a good dealer named Nardo.
Greg!
No one's complaining about the deck, just changing it because it feels a little bit weird. That's what we like to see. Not
Otherwise,
not
it'll
the
get
bogus
the
deck
machine
change.
all messed up.
There you go, Nato.
Thank you. Don't start that.
Nice.
Oh, wait, Greg doesn't like the Nardo? Okay. Nardo! That's your new
I don't know,
nickname.
it sounds like a Simpsons character.
Oh, yeah, you would know.
Hold on to your seatbelts now. See? As we speak. 3 bets.
Nardo was from Taxi? What's Taxi? What's Taxi?
Wow. Wow.
Wait, is this from the 70s? Because I'm not supposed to know.
Jen just aged herself like you guys wouldn't believe.
Or I just, yeah, well, whatever. You don't know what it is either, do you?
No, it's just one of the best sitcoms ever made.
Going that far.
The start of Danny
see,
DeVito.
if I had to guess, I was going to say it was a movie. See, I was going to be way off anyway.
No, Taxi Driver.
Yeah, okay.
Action, you want me to
Anyhow,
grab it?
Anyways, that was a boring pot. Somebody bet their gut shot and won.
if it happened before Thriller, I don't know anything about it.
For any Taxi fans out there, you'll know what this means. But what does a yellow light mean? Nobody's going to get
Yellow light means go. It's not red yet.
it. No. Unless you're a diehard Taxi fan, you'll not know what it means. But what does a yellow light mean? Best TV show ever.
Whatever. I've never heard you speak a word about Taxi until this day.
Because it's not on DVD. It's like Welcome Back, Kotter, and what was that show? WKRFP in Cincinnati or WKRP in Cincinnati. Those are like three of the best shows ever, and they're not on DVD. Meanwhile, we got Dukes of Hazzard season 4 coming out on DVD.
What do we got here for hands? We've got an ace king off suit and a pocket. Oh, ace 6 suited comes in for raise.
3 bets.
King, ace king makes it 3 bets.
3 bets.
I like the
Pocket
3-bet.
nines goes out.
I really like the 3-bet. One,
Right.
if you get 4-bet,
No.
you know you're probably up against a big pair. And 2, you get rid of the blinds and isolate the original
And
raiser.
there's a chance you have the best hand.
And there is a chance.
And there definitely is
Now
now.
he definitely has the best hand, but ace 6 with a couple redraws and a piece of the flop. Probably going to pay him off here. Let's see if ace king raises. Nope, just calls. Queen probably going to get rid of ace 6 at this point. Check. She was in the check and call mode. My mistake on the flop. And now it looks like she's going to go away.
Rabbit Cam showed 8 of spades. No help.
You know, I definitely don't mind the raise in middle position with ace 6, you know, hoping to pick up the blinds like we've seen. But really, if you do get 3-bet, I don't know, that I like the call. And then on the flop with any overcards, when you check and somebody bets into you, not a big fan of the
Petite
call.
blind, big blind.
I agree.
George's got a nice little stack going there, building a pyramid, using that engineering degree he got from UCLA.
I was saying something before we got distracted with the whole taxi thing. It was important, too.
Probably wasn't. Don't worry about it.
It was. Oh, I was talking about playing poker with women. Oh, no, that wasn't important. I was moving on to a new subject.
Ace 8 against pocket 3s. Ace 8 big flop. Probably going to bet it, though.
Oh, yeah.
And pocket 3s folds.
He's not going to bet it for her.
Yeah, George's pretty straight up strong player. Only thing we've seen tricky from him is a little under the gun raise with the suited connectors.
Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, Kev Math, Masher, Jive Davison talking a little bit about the game selection here on Live at the Bike. Totally correct, especially during the Legends of Poker in August. We're going to get a lot bigger games. Ironically, last year I was watching like 7 of the world's best, including Phil Ivey and Gus Hansen, a couple other guys who got busted out really early. They were playing with $1 chips because obviously none of those guys carry around 100,000 cash with them, so they were just playing with $1 chips and settle the difference at the end of the night via check or whatnot, which I thought was kind of funny to see people playing $100,000 games with $1 blue chips.
Okay.
That would be cool.
That I won't do. Can I have $1? Thanks, sir.
Never forget.
How can I forget? It's my job. You ever forget to call?
Call?
It's your job, right? Oh. Pot has been raised.
Oh, Gunther! Thank you, Jive. Gunther! I know Gunther. No, I don't really know him, but...
We don't go way back or anything. Somebody on the post had a suggestion that we maybe try to get a quote-unquote bigger name, somebody that plays professionally or for a living or on TV, or somebody that we've seen come in and play and get to check them out. Maybe during the Legends of Poker we can have a winner-take-all, play against somebody decent or something fun like
maybe
that.
I can convince Phil Gordon to come play.
That's possible. Maybe Phil
We
Gordon.
got kind of chummy at the World Series. I don't know if I
Jen's
told you.
hero.
No, I met him and he was nice. That was about it.
Yeah, actually, while we were up there,
Positive, I
Phil
watched
Gordon
it.
and all the internet players from his little group just killing it up there.
Wasn't that absolutely scary commercial?
Yes.
Got Jack 8 of clubs. Jack 9 of clubs, even better. She playing? Of course she's playing. Oh, it's Vicky.
4 players.
She's in.
Vicky,
I like
Grace,
your hand,
and Roberto,
Vicky.
and Hank. 4 players. Nice.
Okay, great.
Just Deuce 8 and the 4
Yay,
better
Vicky
hands.
wins.
Well, not yet. Still got to dodge a couple cards. But I do like her betting her middle pair, and Grace can peel one off uncharacteristic of her with bottom pair.
What? That's not uncharacteristic.
Usually she'd raise.
Oh.
Now I think, let's see what happens. And 4, no help. Vicky gonna bet it and win it. Now see, there's one place where I think Vicky sometimes misses a value bet, but I think the bet there, I don't particularly like it. She's only gonna get called by somebody that has a jack with a better kicker, a king or a queen, or she's gonna get check raised off the hand. Not
That's
a big
true,
fan of
but
that
then again,
bet.
it's Grace, and she put her on a missed draw. I guess.
Yeah. So what's the point of betting? You're not gonna get called.
Well, just make my point for me then.
Okay, sorry.
You're right.
Getting pretty close here to exciting table talk time, where we turn on the table mic and let you listen into what the players have to say and what
Yeah,
have you.
actually, I think this is going to be the last hand before we go to table talk.
After this exciting fold around, oh no, my mistake.
Vicky raised under
Vicky
the
raised
gun.
under the gun, and looks
with
like
ace
a
10 offsuit.
frustration call from the big blind with
King 10. That's not a frustration call.
That's true.
He
hits a
that's
decent
not
flop,
good.
but not
She's
good enough.
gonna just call. She's got middle pair, but he's got a draw. He needs a queen.
And I think Vicky's going to probably raise him here. No.
Well,
He
he's
checks.
He's
Now he
gonna
goes
check
into
call.
check and call mode, thinking maybe she really does have a legitimate hand, like an overpair. And that doesn't help. And again, I think Vicky missing the value bet there.
Well, it's the same thing as the thing she just did with Grace. He's only going to call if she's got her beat, right? It's
No,
the
no,
same
it's
situation almost.
It's the difference between 2 over cards and a coordinated board, and I don't know.
Well, We are going to turn the commentator mic down, turn the table mic up, and take a break. So we will be back in half an hour. Enjoy Table Talk.
Talk to you then.
That was yesterday, no? Yeah. After you left, I was actually winning like 2,000 and I lost 1,000 back.
That's not a raise.
Yeah, so I got up, you know.
Even if I have aces, I'm gonna think about it.
You guys playing too tight. You guys don't want to gamble, go home.
Right. We need some jokes or something to liven it up. You never say a word.
What are you talking about? I talk all
You're
the time.
supposed to talk today.
I talk.
Talk.
Bring your shell up. That's a good idea. Pot has been raised. 3 bets.
Let's blame it all on the dealer.
Absolutely.
I check mine.
Uh, 369.
Flushy. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you guys very much. Good
That's
luck
very bad.
to all of you.
Thank you.
For most of us, we have jack of hearts. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
¿Quién es?
Nadine.
¿Él? ¿Así? ¿De
Ella es
dónde?
muy amiga mía.
¿De
Ella es
dónde?
mi buena amiga.
Sí, sí, ¿de dónde es ella?
Ecuador.
¿Ecuador? ¿Así? Ah, conozco a ella. Dile de qué. De algo, no aquí, ¿verdad?
Ya.
Aquí en Poker.
A ver si la veo.
¿Así?
Raise.
Bonita. Bonita.
3 bets. 3 plays.
¿Ah? ¿No?
Celebi.
Check.
Ace high.
Ace high?
Segundo place.
Okay, God, I forgot the ace king. My God.
Está en la de
Ecuador, yeah. No, it's like deal aquí in the top section. También? Ah, sí, en top section, yeah.
You know, you gotta know.
Sí.
Not here, don't say. Anybody want to rub my blind?
Alexa, one, please.
saca su camisa a secar, ese día llueve.
Ay, ay, ay. Sí, sí. Increíble las cartas, ¿eh?
Where's my first judge, huh?
No, where you check? We needed them.
Sí, qué bandida.
Es una bandida, ¿verdad?
Bandida.
Sí.
When I go home,
Who's not a member?
Why do you guys have the camera on this table? Oh, yeah? Was recording?
race, three things. Race.
Let's try smile. You're on camera.
Did you miss the flight?
No, that's the button.
Did you miss the flight?
No,
No.
I did not.
Two buttons. Two buttons. No, no, just two.
Okay.
Three players.
Okay. Bye.
Race. Two players. Race.
This is ridiculous. I mean, grandes, nada, cuando digo algo, llamo con mis cartas.
You pulled this pocket tens?
Ace on the board,
Oh,
you
yeah.
raise, you bet she raised.
Why didn't you 3-bet before? You're scared of me.
You are, right?
Wouldn't change anything.
You're scared of me. That's why.
Somebody's for you?
Raise.
Someone is. Scared of the cello.
I am still a little scared of the cello. I'm scared of myself. My stack is
Alrighty then.
3 players. Two buttons.
I miss.
Open in.
Everything.
Open in and then some.
Thank you. Raise. One collection. Thank you. Raise. Play that one. Three players. Two players.
How come your ace jack wins?
Thank you.
Please.
Just kidding, sweetie.
Got lucky.
Yatat, Maya.
Raise. Two players. Raise. 2 planes.
Go ahead.
Race. 3 buttons.
All right.
Thank you.
But do you have one?
You want to come in this one?
Mom, I roll out the red carpet for you.
Very good, thank you.
Race. Five race. Race. Three race. 3 buttons.
One day you should use it for like a month and see how much money you get back. They pay like $10 a month, $5 or $10. Yeah, you get it free. Use your points. Don't worry about it. You have your first on Yeah, 1 point is a dinner.
Thank you. 5 chips. Race. Five race.
Cocktails.
Mark. Nice.
Only painkillers that you can drink and
The only thing drinking with antibiotics might neutralize the antibiotic will have the effect. That's what it is.
Only online. I'm getting bored.
Great
But I don't think one.
Thank you.
Just right there, no? Cuando tengo las iré ella con las viejas se gana, ¿listo? Sin nada con el phone. You set up dealer, please.
Set up on 4, please. Thanks. Good, thanks. Two frames. Press. Thank you.
¿Estás ganando? Hoy. Aquí, sí.
Need a couple hands.
I just try my converter.
Yeah?
You know what? You just gotta set it.
every hour we're getting a soda.
Maingay si Mo.
Press.
One back. Scared.
Ace deuce is good.
One for collection. Thank you.
Brenda is enseñándonos. Está aburrido.
Started to do it. Until I find buttons.
Action. Campbell. Campbell. What's that?
Raise your hand.
I didn't see that she throw it.
I didn't see at all. That's why I asked.
Cannot be for Lady Park.
I wish I saw.
Wow, my screen. Race. 3 plays.
This 3 was good.
Perdón, mi amor, estoy perdiendo bastante, ¿sabes?
Race.
Ay,
Three
ay, ay,
race.
ay, ay.
3 buttons. Two plays.
And we're back from Table Talk. Live,
Live at the bike.
live 3060 with withhold of action.
And a couple of questions when we were out and about from the 2+2 posters. One was, what's the smallest limits, no limit and limit games they spread here? They'll spread 1-2 limit, and they spread a $100 minimum maximum buy-in no limit game with $2 and $3 blinds. That's question number one. So the smallest of smalls for limits and $100 minimums for no limit. And the next one.
On the Live at the Bike website, it says you can watch the archives. Where is it? How do I access it? And we'll love to pay for it and watch it. That's from Young One. You can go to the on-demand banner on the right of the screen. If you go to thebike.com and click on the on-demand banner, it will send you to a website, and you can subscribe for $14.95 for the unlimited access for a month of archive viewing. It is a great tool. Also, there's an instructional DVD from Howard Lederer, so you can check that out. And yeah, so it's $14.95 for limited access for a month.
And Boncher is my new favorite 2+2 poster. Boncher, not sure how you pronounce that. Boncher.
What does a yellow light mean? Slow down?
What does the best? It's the best ever from an episode.
I don't get it. Anyhow.
I'm sorry now.
Jive Dadson. Unfortunately, Yana's not in the booth, so we'll have to keep that post for later. But if you want to tell me, I'd be interested.
Which one is Reverend Jim? Yeah, I'm Jennifer. How can you not notice?
And back exciting action. Vicky under the gun with who knows what, but she folds. Zet, raises from early position. Gotta think she's got a decent hand.
Pocket 10's going to 3-bet.
20?
3 race.
George gonna make it 3 big bets.
Well, it's actually 3 small bets.
I meant 3 like big, as in they were very manly bets.
2 plays.
And it looks like Lizette calls with what we're not sure, Ace-8 suited. So she hits top pair, might get her in a little bit of trouble to George's overpair. George raises, wants to see one time where he's at. And now that Lizette's just called and not 3-bet, I think George knows he's good.
Oh, well. Now she's going to check raise him.
Now she caught up in a big way.
Well, that's exactly what he...
And George here can pretty much only beat pocket nines, so I think he's going to have to fold. It sucks when you have the best hand. It sucks when you flop the best hand. You're still way ahead, but, you know, he's the only thing he can beat now is pocket nines. Either Lisette slow played her overpair, or she's got an 8. It's unfortunate the way it is. Lay it down, George. And he's going to take one off.
He needs a 10.
If the 10 comes, I'm going to eat my words.
That's 4.
It's a 4. No good. Ace 8 catches up.
Ace 8.
And somebody out in the distance called out the ace 8.
I think that was... Who was that? Oh, it's Roberto.
Roberto.
Where did everybody go? We're not on break anymore.
Well,
they weren't on break to begin with.
I think Grace went to go get some grub.
No, she's hanging out in the background.
Oh, talking with Lars.
Oh, so he does talk.
Sparky's back.
I was beginning to think he was like that guy from Gone in 60 Seconds, Sphinx. He never says anything, but he's super cool.
He's only super cool because he was in Lock, Stock, and 2 Smoking Barrels.
What?
Exactly.
Stop making obscure movie references.
Obscure is the last great movie guy, whatever his name, made before he got married to Madonna and his movie-making career went down the toilet.
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie,
I didn't know he was an I didn't know he was an actor. I just thought he was Madonna's
he's the director.
bitch.
He's the director.
Oh.
And Vicky raises from the under the gun position.
With ace 9 suited and ace king suited for Grace, gonna 3-bet.
Ace king 3-betting her. I don't know if that was a post. I mean, I know she was obviously going to 3-bet with ace king, but I don't know if she came in on a post or not.
No, she did. She 3-bet. She was already in.
Seat 5, 8, 9. In there. Money. Suited connectors. And ace king, nice flop.
Vicky.
But Vicky's going to bet out here.
Oh, she's got a flush draw. And Grace, just smooth ball.
2 planes.
Oh, she.
Here comes the raise on the turn by Vicky.
On the turn, and Grace raises. You're getting them mixed up. Grace raised.
Grace raised, yeah. Vicky bet out. Grace raised.
But you said that.
My
Vicky
mistake.
raised.
And the 8 helps no one. Ace king gonna win it.
Check. It's in the muck now. Fierce competition between the ladies.
And there's been a little bit of change, but as of 8:30, a few moments ago, chip counts were seat 1, 1,500, seat 2, on kind of the short stack, 600, seat 3, 1,900, seat 4, 2,000. She was up well above 2,000, but she's lost a couple key hands here. Seat 5, 1,200, seat 6, still at the same 2,000, showing about a $50 profit right now. Seat 7, 1,900, seat 8, 1,100, and seat 9 was at around 800, but Grace with that big pot there, probably up closer to about 1,100 or 1,200 at this point. And pocket 5s for seat 8. Looks like they were folded.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What?
I don't know if I like the folding 8 pocket pair for a limp.
Oh, you don't limp in limit.
No, I understand, but either a limp or a raise. I can't imagine she didn't play the pocket 5s, but...
Did you just say I can't imagine not playing any pocket pair for a limp?
Yeah, of course not.
You either raise or you fold. You don't limp.
Well, easier said than done when you're in middle position with pocket 3s.
I don't get it. You're not advocating playing small pocket pairs, are you?
Of course.
No, that's okay. You don't play limit. What do you know?
And Lizette's cashing out with her, looks like about $430 profit.
450.
Sit open on 4, please.
And looks like we got a seat open at 3060, so if you're out there in bike land, nice.
Button raises with 6, 7 of hearts.
And the big blind woke up with ace-jack. So 6-7 a bit behind here. way behind now.
Seat open.
And she better bet here before she lets him
Well,
catch
she
up.
checked on the.
She checked the flop and
Take it.
now he folds. Actually picks up his jaw and folds. Kind of interesting.
Oh, there's nothing in the pot. He,
Yeah, baby.
So playing six-handed right now, 30-60, 2 forced blinds. Composition of the game might change a little bit. Might see a little bit more aggressive pre-flop raising. More people calling each other down with a bottom pair or high card, which has been happening a lot anyway, so I guess that doesn't change the game composition all that much.
You want Barry here. Especially for online, you want Barry.
And here comes one of my pet peeves in any poker game. Limit, no limit, stud, whatever, hold'em, Omaha. When it's short-handed, when there's only 5 or 6 people in the game, why do you chop? I mean, most hands are going to end up being heads up anyways or isolated between 2 players. George is back now, getting closer to a full table, but I'm just not a big fan of chopping once the table is short-handed. What about yourself, Jen?
are you talking to me?
Okay, never mind, Bart.
Oh, no. If it's like 5 or 6 handed, I still chop just because the rake is so much, but I could see why they would want to play it because they're playing with the 2 and 3 chip line structure, where there's already $50 in the pot.
And 3-6 actually hits the flop the hardest.
Rake is
with a
considerably
pair.
smaller compared, for this game.
Compared
so,
to, like a 6-12 or an 8-16.
So they might as well just play.
And 5 Jack catches up with his pair and a flush draw. And a 10, no help. I think if Grace bets out here, she's going to win.
She's going to win anyway.
No. And she didn't even need to bet out. Just check and call and take it down with your 6 monster 3 kicker.
I can't do it as well as you can.
Yeah, I see one actually a ton of outs there with his 1 overcard and his flush draw. About 12 outs there.
Sweetie? Greg? Is he coming? German? He's the only Mexican I know who's German. Is he Mexican?
What exactly nationality, I wonder, is Grace? She's American, I know. I wonder what language she speaks other than...
Well, we know she speaks Tagalog, because I heard that earlier. We know she speaks Spanish, because I heard her talking to Roberto.
She's an international poker player.
Exactly.
Look, ace, queen, race.
Okay, Grace, now you're just showing off.
What was she speaking then?
Spanish again.
Oh. Maybe she was a language major.
Possibly. Everybody gets a little piece of the flop. Middle pair, straight draw, straight draw.
Queen raises.
Ace queen with the best hand. Probably gonna get called in both spots with the live draws out there.
Vicky's got a good draw. Not anymore.
And still gonna call it down with flush draw and open-ended straight draw. A lot of outs for her, but the board pairing's got to scare her a little bit.
There it is.
There it is. Money card, Frush.
She value bet to suck out, Vicky. Come on.
Yeah. Again.
If you didn't think she had a full house, which is why you called.
Which is why you drew to the straight anywhere, to the flush anyways, yeah. I don't get it.
Maybe they're friends.
They could be friends.
There's no friends among poker.
It could have been
players.
just some womanly respect there or something. I don't really know.
I'm friends with Vicky, and we don't do that. But we're not. We don't play a lot together. But
I think so far we've seen a couple players miss about $400 worth of value bets.
Grace. Rebats.
Ooh, Grace raises. Surprise, surprise. With Ace King suited against another Ace King offsuit and a bunch of threes. And it looks like Roberto's going to mix it up with her. And seat 8 with Ace 5 suited of hearts. In rough shape unless she finds some hearts.
Or
and
5.
She found the 5. Wow. From worst to first. Wow, an Ace King. Ace King and Ace King effectively draw into 2 outs. And Ace 5 is just a big turn card for her, going to solidify the fact that she's not going anywhere.
Oh,
and River's the nuts.
Nobody's going to call.
No, don't think anybody can call with their Ace King. A huge pot for Ace 5, who was behind, went to worst to first on the flop, and a big turn and a huge river.
3-4.
That's the frustration right there for limit poker. And
I don't
Roberto,
think it's frustrating.
The way the hand went down, Roberto actually thinking about maybe calling here with Ace King.
I don't find it frustrating to lose when I'm a favorite to any hand. I only find it frustrating if the person who beats me with crap thinks that they're good poker player.
And Neela, big time, does not show that she had the nuts. I'm a big fan of that.
Oh, no reason to show.
I know.
They want to see, make
A
them pay.
lot of people want to see, though. A lot of people try to show their hand and stuff. Get saucy. Grace goes, there she goes, she called it. She's like, you had runner, didn't you? Nice.
Well, she was winning anyway.
A little bit of slackjaw going on now.
Slackjaw?
Slackjaw.
That reminds me of a song.
Otherwise
from The
known as talking
Simpsons.
smack.
Something including Yakshon Yokel. Yeah, Cletus the Slackjaw Yokel. Anybody who's on 2+2 will appreciate
And C2
that.
raises with deuces.
Thank you.
Big blind calls it down with 9-10. Actually a pretty nice coin flip. And 9-10 wins.
9-10, woohoo. Oh, it's not suited.
And here comes the check raise. Nice check raise when you know you got the best hand. Ooh, even better.
That's overkill.
And I think Sparky's got to get away from here.
Sparky, put him down. What are you doing with deuces anyway?
Oh, he's trying to make a move on the button. Sparky's a little bit short stacked now. Sorry to hear about that. You know, the weird thing is I never see Hank do anything catastrophic or anything just horribly habitually wrong, but a couple of games that I've seen him play, he seems to just bleed down a lot of chips to the short stack. I don't know if maybe he's just getting bad beats, which a lot of times he is, or just picking bad spots or whatnot, but there's been several times where he's been ahead before the flop, ahead on the flop, and just has to lay it down the turn or the river. More power to him for losing less money than a lot of people would have with the hands that he's been dealt the last couple of times that I've watched, but kind of a shame.
So, Jive, it's cool.
Seat 9 with pocket aces.
Which one is Reverend Jim? I have absolutely no clue what you're talking about. Is this a reference to a movie or something? You're
Yes.
forgetting. I live in a box. I have no idea what you're talking about, but we can play trivia, and you can. I can try.
And 7-9
Is
here
this
with a
reference
straight
to
draw
Back
and a
to the
pair.
Future?
No, close to Back to the Future. Taxi is the show that launched Christopher Lloyd's career.
Oh, it's the second Back to the Future.
No.
The second picture. Oh, Reverend Jim is the second picture. Yay, I win. What do I get?
And 7-9 had a straight against pocket aces. We missed all that excitement because 7-9 sucked out in a mean way by turning pocket aces. And this will be Grace's argument for the rest of the year as to why she has to play suited connectors for raises and whatnot.
Well, okay. What
Well,
was Grace under the gun, and 7-9 was in the blind.
Yeah, 7-9 was in the
She would
blind.
have done the same thing. That's why
Of
she
course.
can't complain.
Of course, but 7-9, you know, got about the best flop he could ask for, short of flopping a set or some other trips. Flopped a pair with a straight draw, turned the straight, and aces are just no good there.
Yeah, there's no bitching.
I was telling him one chip, saying one chip too many. He was
The Fonz.
Yeah, right.
We have a
Give me
question
back
on
the
2
one
plus
chip.
2. Jennifer, who would win in a motorcycle race? Ponch or the Fonz? And I'm going to just say the Fonz
Got it?
because I know he wears his black leather jacket and he's cool. So, am I right? Am I right? Scott, am I right?
That's actually up to interpretation.
I hope it's not the chip.
2 kings flop here with no kicker. Queen 10 with a little bit of a draw, I think.
Let me check again.
Queen 10 and Queen 10 both looking for a jack, which is no good, and King 3 and King 6 trying to catch up on the kicker.
I don't think we have seen one pot tonight that has had 5-way action
Everything.
or
I
more
have
before the
everything.
flop.
King 6, take it down.
7-8 has a flush.
My mistake, 7-8 has a flush and a straight. Wow, I totally missed that.
Yeah, what's with you?
I just want the 6. I
See?
don't want the 6 of
Now
hearts.
Grace just sucked out.
I told you
No,
like
she
a
didn't
chip.
suck out on aces, but
Right. And there was no
No.
raise, and she was in the big blind, and she had a huge draw on the flop and on the turn.
the point is, live by the sword, die by the sword.
Right. Personally, I would take Paunch over Fonz, babe.
I don't know who Ponch is, so I had to by default say Fonz.
Okay.
What?
What's a nice
Eric Estrada, Poncharelli. Poncharella.
Is this from Chips?
Chips, there you go.
Oh, I got one right. I rule.
For those of you out there listening, you can tell I'm just a ball of worthless knowledge.
Good players.
This is true.
Jack King against Jack Queen. Jack Queen catches up. Grace.
See, there is no best hand until
See,
the river.
Grace, out flop ability.
German, you want to play? You know why?
I don't want to hear her bitching.
You didn't want to play because...
And that's that. Jack Queen gonna take it down.
Huh?
You knew that before you said yes. You knew we were here.
And Lars, a little bit of frustration there, I think. He's done pretty much the right thing all night. He's got a lot of his money when he had the best hand, pre-flop, even on the flop, and just hasn't been working out for him. George looks like he's about stagnant. Roberto looks like he's about stagnant. So far, it looks like the big winner tonight is the rake.
Unbelievable.
Well,
because nobody seems to be way up in chips. Vicky's had a nice little run at it,
Vicky's
but
doing well.
everybody else seems to be running pretty stagnant.
Yummy boy.
Yep.
They're just passing around chips. That's what happens when you play with the same people all the time.
3 bananas.
There's the glorious shot of the rake.
Which is much easier to beat in this game, I may mention, than those of you who play 8-16, 6-12, and below for a living. Virtually impossible.
Nobody would try to play 8-16 for a living. You're nuts.
Crazier things have happened.
It's so good, huh?
It always is when you
What is the name?
Versailles.
Versailles, yeah.
It's very
Oh, that's what punch. Huh. All right.
No, thank you.
I thought I was going for the obvious. I thought the Fonz was supposed to be cool. All right. Come on. Just give me a bunch of crap.
And it looks like Gray's going to raise with pocket eights.
Yeah, it's very good at Versailles, the fried bananas.
I want some fried bananas.
And seat 3, Lars, continue to be unable to hit a flop.
He's going to call anyway?
Or a turn, but at least he picks up the nut flush draw now.
Oh, okay. And he makes it. Woohoo for him.
Oh, yay, Lars. Finally gets some money in there and wins it. Although, ironically, that time Grace was ahead the whole way. But it's nice to see Lars get some retribution and win a pot.
Huh?
You know, that's the only problem, though, with peeling the turn is so many times with big cards, the peel can bring you a big draw, whether it be a flush or a straight. You're still an underdog to any type of made hand, and a lot of people bleed a lot of money that way. A lot of players. Actually, I was reading an article written by Daniel Negreanu back in like his 30, 60, 40, 80 grinded out days before he started writing directly for a card player, and he said that's how he lost a lot of money on given nights, is seeing the turn and picking up these monster draws And even if you make a third of them, it just doesn't account for the money you lose.
Okay.
So we got ace queen against pocket nines, another race situation.
Yeah, it'll be a
And
bigger
it's
one.
the button against the blinds.
And pocket eight's also
Oh,
called.
and pocket eights. Ace 10 deuce, ace queen, well out ahead now.
Vicky is not gonna. Well, at least he found out where he's at and he folds.
Yeah.
He could have just folded without finding out where he's at. There's enough overcards.
Tightest play on the table.
She's not gonna bet in that board with anything less than a 10.
Ace king, I'm up. Ace queen, I take my chances.
And Hank getting a little bit upset tonight,
Hank,
losing his cool
we're
a
gonna
little
have
bit.
to have a talk about that play with the eights. I like that you raise to find out where you're at and you're good enough to lay it down when you know you're beat, but Vicky's not gonna bet to that board without having it.
Blue chip, sir?
And Roberto takes down a little pot, but still most of the players, Roberto, George, Neela, Grace, everybody's staying fairly stagnant. You know, Vicky the bigger winner tonight so far, and Sparky having a rough go of it.
1,000 behind two.
Goodbye.
Rebuy. Unlimited cash game rebuys available day and night here at the bike. Vicky raises on the button with Jack King, two face cards. Going to get one little defense from 7-9. And there we go. She might get a little bit of action with the pair.
Action.
Seat 7 looking for an 8, a 6, 9, 7, something to give him a draw or better.
How big is the kicker?
Better than yours.
And no good there.
King Jack.
7-9, no good.
Good.
First time I win here. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Vicky.
Looks like a lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing. Somebody's gonna chop.
Fold it around, and here comes a choppy chop chop. A couple of the players commenting on, it does get a little warm out there under the lights.
Goes up to high instead of medium. That'll circulate the air.
That's the only reason I wear the sunglasses, is because I prefer not having the interrogation light in my eyes.
I'll get some.
And looks like a little raise from Vicky with King Rag. I think that was King Rag. Everybody folded too quick for me to tell.
It's good when I got like 40 of them. This makes very easy to do.
You can raise from now on. Okay.
There you go. Raise it, roll it in. Now see how you're not angling at him at all. You're actually angling away from him. Things are shot up that way. You can pin it back a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Fold it around again.
You have to do it on me a little bit too.
Chop.
He's not the only one to chop.
Choppuccino, nice.
Choppuccino. Really?
That's what I heard.
Okay, so again, if you're going to be in Las Vegas, or if you don't have anything better to do, go to Las Vegas.
And if
check
you can
out
find them, you might be able to hire the A-team. Oh, sorry, wrong show.
What are you talking about, the A-team? I do remember that, though. I pitied a fool. That guy, right?
That was the best B.A. Baracus I've heard in a long time.
Okay, so if you're
Anyways.
going to be in Vegas, check out the Live at the Bike booth. Bart Hansen a great commentator for Live at the Bike. We all love Bart. He'll be there. Evelyn, the producer, will be there. They'll be giving away Live at the Bike memorabilia. There will be raffles and lots of cool stuff. So make sure you go by the
Nice
booth
spot for
and check it out.
Pocket Nines.
The dates approximately are going to be the 6th through the 9th. They will be there. So go check them out.
And seat 9 has Grace as the ace high flush draw. Seat 1 with the pocket 9 is the best hand currently. That's not going to help Grace. Pocket 9 probably still needs to bet here. And there it is. Ace of hearts. Grace going to take down about a $440 pot, somewhere in that range.
Did you make that up?
No.
I would say closer to 300.
And Tom looking a little disgusted.
There's a box card there? Right there. Vicky. There you go. There you go.
Also, don't forget, guys, exciting action, more exciting than normal at the bike in August. Definitely recommend getting down here to the bike.
Legends of Poker, I don't have a schedule on me, but there's going to be a lot of tournaments going on. And
a lot of tournaments, and the tournament director, Denny here, does a great job of running all day satellites and super satellites. So anybody with probably as little as $50 can come down here and play a super satellite or work their way up the one table satellite circuit to try to get into some of those $5,000 events or $2,000 events.
Schedule for Legends of Poker tournament in August is actually on our website at thebike.com, or it's on the back of the new issue of Card Player that came out today. So go check that out.
And if any of you watch any TV, you'll notice last year's big event winner here at the Legends of Poker was the one and only, who I didn't get a chance to talk to other than say hi, but he seems to be about one of the most approachable, nicest gentlemen I've ever seen interact with other poker players. So come down and play a little bit of poker and meet a couple legends.
Meet a couple superstars.
Living and upcoming.
Yes. Yeah, it works. It works. It's also short. That would be so cool.
It's like
Grace raised it.
Even though there's a lot of chips out there, that's actually just Vicky doing some housekeeping in her big blind, getting rid of some of the miscellaneous chips.
Grace raised with 5-7 of hearts. Yay.
Middle position aggression. Grace wins a lot of pots that way.
Pocket 3. Have you seen that Seinfeld where George does the opposite of everything he wants to do? Everything works out for him after that.
Player 6 George talking about the all-time greatest sitcom television show period ever created by man, Seinfeld.
Wait, what does SpongeBob do? I want to hear about SpongeBob.
No,
Wait.
Seinfeld.
Oh,
Seinfeld?
Seinfeld? Oh, well. I thought we were going to
pick up season 4 on DVD now.
Wait, okay. Seinfeld.
And we got 5-8, 3-5, 3-7, a lot of little tiny cards. And Grace is probably going to win here with her queen. Queen 4 is the monster.
Oh, you want to have, sir? Okay. Best time to come in.
Best time to come in, you get
2 hands for the price of 1.
Here.
And then you come behind the button, you have to post.
I don't have the post.
Okay.
Yeah, so you post 3 chips. And then
so I don't pay anything?
Yes, you do.
And the dealer explaining to seat 5 that you can actually, in essence, buy the button or post under the gun. And what that does, it allows you to get 2 hands, one more or less on the button, and then one behind the button without having to pay an extra post. So he's in for 3 chips effectively, the cost of the big blind. And seat 5, a new player. Don't
know his name yet.
Don't know his name yet, and I can't really see him from here. Looks like seat 4 has got pocket 10s, seat 6 10 jack, and seat 7 jack king.
Flops a set. The first flopping a set.
Top set.
No, somebody flopped a set of 9s earlier.
That's true.
This is the second that I can recall.
And looks like George raised here.
Tell your wife or your girlfriend.
And Vicky's just going to smooth call. Check raise with his top pair.
Yep.
Little does he know he's up against top set. And he's going to bet it again. I'm sure here comes the raise. Effectively dead at this point.
Time.
Vicky raised here, and what's George gonna do?
George has had to make a lot of laydowns tonight. He's effectively bet for what he thought was value with top pair and whatnot, and just getting smashed. And makes another call here, drawn dead. The only bad thing that could happen is like a jack. And George checks it. And Vicky does not miss her value bet here with the nuts. The actual nuts.
That's actually not the nuts. 7-8
7-8, I guess. Maybe somebody limps in there 7-8 of clubs.
So seat 5 is Gil.
Gil.
He doesn't look familiar. He's kind of cute, though. Are there any girl posters? Come on. Give me some feedback on the cute guys at the table. We got Hank. Lars from Mars. He's a cutie pie.
Gil looked like he spent a lot of time on the golf course today.
Yeah. Maybe he was hanging out with Terry.
Raise it.
And looks like Gil comes in for his first hand with a raise.
King. Oh, no.
I like it.
King, Queen.
King, Queen. He's up against King, Queen, and Ace 10.
Ace 10.
Oh, Ace 10 folded, apparently.
Yeah, I can see that.
Rightfully so, but
I think.
King, Queen going to go at it now. Two of them, mind you.
They're going to chop.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll be down there.
Handle your business.
All right. Thank you, Robert.
And Ace on the river is probably going to slow somebody down. Chop, chop. And the funny thing is, Ace, if Grace sticks around with Ace 3 to see the river, she ends up scooping a decent-sized pot.
I was suited.
Here we go. I was suited.
Flop a dime.
He gets the big one. The small one gets the big chip. Here, mail that back, sir. Thank you.
And chopping it up. Odd chip goes to the one closest to the right of the dealer button. Well, I'm sorry, to the left of the dealer button. Effectively, the ones closest to the blinds get the extra chip.
Who's ringing?
That's a ringing violation.
Vicky,
they're going to have to get her off the table. And she rightfully picks it up and hangs it up. Something I'd love to see.
She just hung up on somebody. That's so cool.
I'm so sick of eating at a restaurant or going to the movie and seeing people on their cell phone. It just makes me sick.
You guys chop, huh?
Yep.
Everybody chops.
Tienes agua, you know? No tienes agua?
It was a trick question. They're both Reverend Jim. I don't understand.
Tengo sed.
Oh, Jive. You and your trick questions.
Jive and Wellcock. Cracking me up.
Give me some Simpsons trivia, okay? Or some All My Children or something. I'll have it.
Austin raised.
I'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
And looks like Roberto comes in for a raise with 5 queen. Wow, mixing it up. Nice. Takes down the blinds. Easiest $49 they'll ever earn. And it looks like we got a raise under the gun by Vicky.
The big blind has my second favorite hand. 9-10 of diamonds.
Vicky with ace queen.
I'm sorry, Vicky. I've got to root for 9-10. Oh, well. There goes that. If it was 9-10 of hearts, we'd be in there.
And 9-10 frustration going to peel one here. Oh, my mistake. No, ace 7 going to peel. I'm sorry.
Defaulted. Oh, no.
Oh, 9-10. 9-10 would have picked up a nice turn with the diamond draw. But he's out of the hand, so he can't win.
And
here comes ace queen with the raise. Guarantee it. And the river's a 5, so ace queen going to take this down.
That's why you shouldn't call with ace 7.
I agree. Ace 7, ace 8, 8, 9, those dominated hands just very tough to get away from after you flop an ace, especially in limit poker. Not a big fan of defending with the ace 7, ace 8.
Yeah, St. Francis. No, just one. Not yet. Okay, Sandra? Okay, Sandra?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, look at Vicky. She's cleaning it up.
Gil folds, Grace folds.
She's got about $3,000 in front of her.
Yeah, I was just going to say $3,200. She still in for original $1,000 buy-in, so she's effectively tripled up tonight. But it's nobody's money until you get it off the table, so we'll see how it holds up.
It doesn't matter if you haven't gone on the table off the table. If you're up to $3,000 and you lose, you still lost $3,000 for the night, not $1,000.
I agree.
Yeah, she's got yeah, like you said, 3,200, 3,300 actually. Nice score for Vicky.
Only one.
Does she watch the show? You wonder?
Don't think so.
She does. I'm getting word she does. Vicky is a member of the archive. This is a prime example of watching the archive when you play. Subscribe, watch yourself play, pick up some notes.
Improve your game.
Everything. There's no downside.
Pay attention to who's a calling station and who bets with their bottom pair.
$15 a month is nothing compared to the information you get about your poker game and how it can help you in the long run.
There's been a couple times I've gone back, Jen, and watched my No Limit play and actually cried. So.
Yeah, well, if you suck like Scott, it helps you even more because then you start to suck less.
Seat 3 raises with
Ideally.
ace king. Ideally, that's the thought. And ace king gets there with his ace, but kind of a scary board, coordinated for straights and flushes. Nobody with a club, though.
We've got an updated chip count.
Brought to you by Exciting Joker Gaming.
Joker Gaming. All right.
Dun, dun.
Seat 1, 1,800. Seat 2, 750. Come on there, Hank. Bump it up a bit. Seat 3, 1,700. Like we said, Vicky's got 3,300. Seat 5 just walked in with 1,000. Seat 6, it's got 1,200, so he's making some profit. Seat 7's got 1,400. Seat 8 is in with 1,000, and Seat 9, that's Grace with 2,000. So Grace spotted for 1,000, as far as I know. So she's also doing well.
Grace did buy in for 1,000. She's up quite a bit. George was actually on a little bit of a rush there and seems to crashed on a few hands here. He was playing real solid poker and a couple of value bets when he was up against monsters. Nothing you can do about that. But for the most part, he's gotten away from the right hands and called down the right ones.
So 3 bets by the button with ace king against ace queen.
And 8-jack in there.
8-jack is not in there.
Oh, 8-jack folded. 8-jack would have been real happy if he would have called, though.
Yeah, he had a
flush draw and top pair.
Wow. Poor Jack 8. Oh, well.
Sometimes doing the right thing means not making the money you could have at that particular moment in time.
Ace queen's going to call for the 10.
And doesn't get there.
I was going to buy the 3, but that's okay.
This is where Vicky needs to start paying a little bit more attention, I think, to the calls that she makes pre-flop. She's a pretty aggressive player, but very easy in this limit game to bleed $1,000 or $2,000 of chips back with marginal calls.
I want to actually put the button on top.
You guys to check and leave?
Yeah, right.
What did you have?
They pushed the pot to me.
Oh. Did they show the hands?
No, he didn't have to show.
He didn't have to show. And they was bringing a pot too. See? See?
Oh, yeah. Just got the one drink.
And I think I almost heard a comment there from Lars, but no such luck.
Or you could smell it.
Don't worry, after the show, I'm going to go give him a talking to.
All right. And looks like we got a raise by Grace with a couple cards.
with a couple cards. Ace 6 of spades.
Ace 6 of spades. Gets called by Ace Jack. Has her pretty dominated. And 10 Queen. Nice big flop for 10 Queen with top pair. Some crazy backdoor straight draws. And a 3 on the turn doesn't really help anybody effectively. 10 still way out ahead.
And there's
until
the
ace.
Well, did she bet on the turn?
No, I think Queen 10 actually missed a bet on the
that's her
turn.
fault then. She
That is her
deserves to
turn.
lose.
Let Lars in there with 2 overcards to catch up, and he's going to get paid off by Grace. Ace Jack going to take it down. Queen 10's really got to be kicking herself for missing a bet there. I don't know if maybe she was out of position. I don't know if maybe she was going for a check raise or something like that, but she was looking for a check raise.
Oh, that's strong. That hand that she
torpedoed.
had wasn't strong enough to check raise anyway. She just missed a bet, and that was all there is to it.
Yeah, she bets out. I think both aces fold. And if they don't, at least she makes them pay for it.
That's okay. Exposed cards.
Exposed cards.
8 and a deuce.
Here goes the jokes. Oh, that kills my hand. Pocket eights, pocket deuces. Of course, that's what I had. And if you notice the attendant going around there and scanning the bike cards, players' cards, kind of nice. Gets you free food, cash back actually at the end of the month if you play more than 24 hours a month, 25 hours a month, something like that.
Up here you get, if you play for 30 hours, you get $1 an hour for the first 30 hours. And every hour after 30 hours you get $3 an hour. Or you can have a point scanned for food. It's 25 hours.
Okay,
That's
25
hours up here and 30 hours in the lower limits.
Anyways, I used to be an anti-card type person. I don't know why, because I was just too lazy to go get one. But after I got one, it's pretty nice to get the free grub all night and a couple extra bucks at the end of the month. And if you're a real degenerate, you can rack up a couple $100 playing poker at the bike
I
on
have
that card.
friends who bank on the fact that they're going to have $200 to cash out at the end of each month.
It's an automatic plus or a free roll into a tournament. One of the two. It's actually really nice.
Raise it.
Vicky has ace queen. She raises it and takes the lines.
Shut up.
It looks like we might finally have a female poster out there in 2+2
Yay,
land.
Vegas Vixen.
Vegas
okay, which
Vixen.
one of us missed it? Was it Scott or me? Because I have a habit of saying stuff like that. She's mentioning that the 4 on the turn in a hand I can't remember gave Grace an open and a straight draw, but one of us said that it didn't help.
Which is very possible, because sometimes Grace's cards are so crazy you don't really know what the turn or the river is bringing
yeah,
her.
we didn't notice, but thank you for pointing that out. We like it when people are paying attention to the show.
Yeah, it looks like George is raising here with
aces? Oh, no,
Yep.
that's somebody else has aces. Oh, wait, who's this guy? Tom. I haven't heard from him in a long time.
We haven't heard from Tom in a while, but he's got aces, and he's going to look like he raised, and George smooth called with Jack King.
George was the original raiser.
Drawn pretty thin. Ooh, and George checks here. Let's it go.
Aces 3-bet, I believe.
Didn't quite see how the action went down there, but
Yeah.
nice little $120 profit with aces. Better to win small than lose big, right, Jen?
That's right.
This one, yes.
And it looks like new guy Gil is under the gun. Let's see what he does. He's going to fold. George's going to fold. Roberto's going to
Vicky
fold.
in the big blind has got pocket
Raised.
jacks, and it gets raised by Queen 8 with clubs. Vicky's probably going to 3-bet.
Well, it looks like Neil has really caught on to the game. There's been a lot of folding. And although,
does make
obviously,
it
I don't think she, at this point, she doesn't think her Queen 8 is good. Anytime she's been the first to enter the pot, she's been raising it, which I really like.
Oh, she
And a monster flop for Queen 8. And, you know, anytime the board pairs like that, Vicky's going to probably bet it all the way.
Oh, that's going to slow her down.
That's going to slow down Vicky.
Yeah, she's got to have one of those cards. Rabbit Cam shows the deuce of hearts. No help.
Now, I think if Nayla would have checked there, Vicky might make a stab at it with a bet.
Yeah, but I'm saying that that's going to slow her down because now if Vicky had ace king,
right,
she's done with her queen. So that that's a scare card for her. There aren't too many hands that Vicky's going to 3-bet with there.
That's true.
Pocket jacks again for, Grace raised. Pocket jacks makes it 3 bets. Grace raised with 8-10 suited. I like
and
it.
seat 3 with ace king Lars. He might cap it here. Nope, just going to call.
The move will be the first cap before the flop we've seen, right?
I think we saw one a little earlier.
One? This game is
and
pretty
the thing
tight
is,
tonight.
Middle position, Grace was just trying to, again, represent a big hand, take down the blinds, and hits a nice big flop.
That's a nice draw for her.
And Pocket Jack's still out ahead right now, but a flush or a 9 would be a big card. A flush card or a 9 would be big for Grace. Ace King peeling one off.
That's the flush.
There it is,
Grace.
money card for Grace.
She checks it. Jack's
Ace
bet
King
out.
going to fold.
She needs to dodge another spade.
And she's definitely going to raise here. And Jack's at this point calling for a spade. I doubt he thinks his Jack's already good.
No good.
No good. And Jacks are going to have to call. I think Jacks are going to have to call him off here, even though she's pretty sure she either has a 7 or a spade. I mean, geez, even at this point, a queen will
She's
win.
going to check raise with nothing.
Flush. That was the sound of bankrolls being flushed down the toilet to 8-10 of spades.
I like it. It's close to 9-10.
It's very close. Big pot. Let's see, 270 in there before the flop, and then it's about a 680, 720 pot, somewhere around there. 3-way, 3-bet action before the flop. Big raise on the turn.
So everybody who plays poker for a living is making money at this game.
Yes, that is effectively true. Well, George might play for a living. Seems to be a pretty avid poster and has a good feeling of the game. Just, I don't know, getting the worst end of some big hands.
Vicky's got 9-10 of hearts.
9-10 of hearts against Ace King and 10 King, and she is she's
in the lead.
Way ahead.
That's right. Raise it up. Raise them up a little bit.
2 players.
Really just has
No
to
ace, no
dodge
king.
Still ahead. Still got to feel comfortable about her pair.
She checked.
Again, missing the value bet time and time again, unfortunately.
Now she bets when she's not going to call. Oh, she does call with ace high. Well, I guess she knows Grace.
Yeah.
Well, okay, either way. She's either going to call on the turn or she's going to call on the river. She's not going to call in both spots, but it's more likely she's going to call on the turn.
And way more likely she's going to call on the turn, right?
Her calling on the river must have been some kind of like grudge match because she can't think.
Yeah, she can't think her
she
no pair.
raised on
Ace
the
King is
flop.
high.
Yes. There's no draw out there that she could be raising for a free card. She has to have the ace high beat.
But, you know, Grace not doing too bad for herself here, up 1,200.
She's winning, yeah. I wonder if Grace watches the archives.
I'm going to have to go with no.
No? Grace does not. Not that we know of. Well, she should. It's only $14.95. Queen, Jack. Oh, the blinds are going to chop.
Sparky's going to the wine. You know he's having a bad night when he's one buy-in deep and he's already moved into the wine and it's only 9 o'clock.
That's not his wine. That's Lars' wine.
No, he was having a drink. They're both having a drink.
Oh. Maybe they're buying each other drinks.
This is California, but I don't think that's the case.
That could be.
On the Sultan.
Yeah.
Night.
Oh, there are 2 glasses. And nobody offered Grace a glass of wine?
I know.
I'm shocked.
Yep. Better there.
Floorman, can we tell C2 and C3 that they should buy Grace a glass of wine?
Probably not a good idea.
I don't really see some action.
Raise it. 2 players.
Raise on the button with Queen Jack. Offsuit.
And no one has a heart, no one has a pair.
He has a 5. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
there's a 5 on the board. My mistake. Not that I feel at all comfortable calling down here with bottom pair. But
I wouldn't call 5 a pair, but he's gonna
I
call.
guess at this point it probably got a little bit better if the board pairs, Or I guess if you're against pocket deuces or pocket threes, your hand got a little better.
Or if you're against 2 random overcards. Or
And-
if you made a full house on the river.
And if you rivered a full house.
And he doesn't bet. Oh
No bet for
my God.
That's where you bet and just pray the person has like a 4
4.
or a heart or
Flush.
something.
Something. Oh, good. Gravy.
So I believe it's Chapter 7, value betting. Definitely a chapter that needs to be handed out to our crowd tonight here.
Oh, Tom. All right, you and Hank, we're having a talk after the show.
I rarely insult people for not value betting and no limit.
I'm not insulting him. I'm just saying he's wrong.
Okay, well, I was insulting. I rarely insult people for not value betting and no limit because there's always the potential of getting check raised for a monster amount of chips. But I think the best section or the best book that I've read about Limit Hold'em is Jennifer Harmon's section in Super Systems 2 that she wrote about Limit. And she said that Limit Hold'em's more of a grudge match. It's all about jamming those pots and value betting your hands, and that's just not happened tonight.
Well, George flops a set of aces and
Super overkill. No one there to pay him off.
What player practice?
That's where you really needed somebody with a set of deuces or something.
5 and 7.
Hi, sweetie. Huh?
And really, any of you guys playing Limit Poker that have not read the section, I think it's about 30 or 40 pages, the section in Super Systems 2 written by Jennifer Harmon on Limit Poker. It's excellent. Not a lot of particular examples. It's not written like a Sklansky book or anything like that. It's written more just like the feel of the game and what you need to do to be a winning player. More so than saying be aggressive, be aggressive, be aggressive. It's an excellent section. And George commenting on the fact
they're only 5-handed. He had a playable hand, but there's nobody else to play, so they're gonna have to call players back here.
Well, George makes a good point. He says down to 5-handed. I'm in the big blind. I don't want to chop.
Sorry. I thought we agreed not to.
Sweetie, can you get the players back? Because we only have half an hour to go.
So it looks like we're getting word from Macker.
Macer.
No, Macker. I bet you it's Macker. We're getting word from him that George started with 2,000, not 1,000. So he's lost a significant portion of his stack. I say it's Macker because he's probably using a Macintosh computer. So that's.
Well, that doesn't sound very cool. I like Mac Macer. That sounds like something out
Macer, though? It has no meaning.
Sounds like something out of like Thunderdome or Mad Max or something.
Where is it? 2 players.
Basher has a good point. He says on 2+2 that nobody knows who we are. So I'm Jennifer. I'm a prop at the bike. And Scott is a poker player.
I'm Scott Groves, and I play probably too much poker at the bicycle casino. I've been playing since about '97 and started back in the Army playing 7-card stud with all the blue-haired ladies in Kansas City back before Hold'em got really exciting. So watch a lot of poker, read a lot about poker, play a lot of poker, and that's about it. I guess I have no actual certification to be here. But Scott Groves and Jennifer Bankston having a good time.
Yeah, I do agree with maybe we should get something where we all have our pictures and we put our pictures up on the thread or on the bike website or something. I'm sure we'll be doing that. But Evelyn, our producer, would be going through a lot because normally we had the commentators change. 2 people do it for the first 2 hours and 2 people do it for the second 2 hours. But Scott and I are lucky enough to do it for all 4 hours together tonight. So
as we're blabbering here, it looks like Vicky's going to take her nice sizable profit of $2,000 and change and cash out for the evening. It looks like players might start dropping here as we get closer to the conclusion of Live at the Bike.
No, we're getting players in there. There's no conclusion. It's not over. It was Scott that said before didn't help Grace. Okay, at least I'm not the dumb one.
No one's arguing that. I'm definitely the dumb one.
Ain't no the lucky winner of the bike.
Yeah, did the camera get it?
Yeah, we got it, Vicky. Come on down. You can be just like Vicky. Turn 100 chips into 300 chips. Who cares about the denominations, whether you're playing 1, 2, or 400, 800. Just anytime you can turn 100 chips into 300 chips, that's a damn good night. $400 chips, my mistake.
Yeah, maybe she wanted another pot. I wasn't paying attention.
Looks like Vicky walked off with 400 chips. Nice night. $4,000.
$3,000 profit. That'd buy a lot of purses.
That would buy a lot of purses. Put a down payment on my new car.
That's a lot of top ramen, too.
Put a down payment on a 1972 Pantera.
Yeah, why would you want to do that? It's old.
That's true. But it's a pretty car.
Oh, boy. Guys in their cars.
And right now it looks like
5-6.
5-6 is ahead here, huh?
2 players.
5-6 is ahead with the pair.
And 2
now
pair.
2 pair.
Now
What is Deuce 9 doing in there?
4-9. He was looking for a draw.
Yeah, he got it. And Gil picks a pot. Welcome to the game, Gil.
I like how Grace said, we need to call the players back to the table so I can go have a smoke.
Well, at least she's polite about it, you know, 3-man walking
She's around
rule.
here somewhere. There she is. Just in time to raise it up. King 10 offsuit.
Short-handed. I like that
run
raise.
Into ace queen on the button though.
No, that's unlucky, but short-handed limit. I don't really mind a raise
he
with
just
any
smooth
2.
calls. Do you want the blind to catch up? Luckily, the blind didn't call.
Any 2 Broadway cards, I don't particularly mind a raise here. Short-handed limit.
It wasn't short-handed.
King 10 ahead. Ace queen gonna peel. Didn't peel hard enough.
It's done.
26.
I don't mind a raise. I'm just saying it's not short-handed.
I know.
Yeah, the queen's going to come on the river. The queen on the river will save it. Ace queen?
Oh, Grace is definitely going to raise this one. Ace 9 suited.
Raise it.
Her favorite word is raise.
I got ace queen. I got lucky then.
And Grace going to take down. Nope,
No,
my mistake.
pocket jacks,
Oh,
three
pocket
bets.
jack. C1. Didn't even see that. He 3 bets. Ace 9
Oh,
smooth
it's
calls.
done.
Ace. The outflop ability again.
She bets, he
It
calls.
is
He's gone
uncanny.
to a jack. She bets.
He calls.
He don't call.
He's calling.
Put it in the muck. There we go. River shows the king of spades. Red looked like a jack for a minute there. Might have been the suck out of the century. Oh, wait, I already saw the suck out of the century.
The legitimate one-card outer. Is that what you speak of?
Are you talking about... No, oh, not that. I'm talking about when I did it. I flopped a set of 3s, and this guy had flopped top set with a set of 8s, and I thought I was trapping him on the turn when the ace fell. And it turned out he had me dominated, and I rivered a 3.
Nice.
For quads, yeah. And he just politely turns over his hand and tosses it in the muck. Shrugs his shoulders, like, eh. I guess he gets beat by 4 of a kind quite often.
Yeah, I seem to remember a hand at a home game losing a substantial chunk of change and bankroll.
I don't recall.
On a set of aces, me, against a set of 10s, him, and the miracle one-card outer 10 coming on the river, and that's just the way it is in No Limit sometimes.
That's the way it is.
Even donkeys get lucky sometimes, I guess.
There's fighting words.
He's not watching.
Oh, okay. He should be. What's he doing?
If he is, you're not a donkey.
We're just making fun of you. Okay, we've got Ace King comes in for a raise, takes
And
down the
folds
blind.
down.
You didn't see that, but it was Ace King.
I didn't have much there. The blackjack hand, huh? Double down.
What's a blackjack? Any hand that's good in blackjack is good in hold'em, isn't it?
Really? 7-4?
That's not good in blackjack. Ace
Yeah,
Queen.
it is, because you get to double down.
No.
He's
You
like-
want a made blackjack. That's like saying, I want pocket 4 so I can flop a set rather than having pocket aces. You always want to draw a blackjack.
No, you want 11s.
No, you want to
You want
draw
11s in blackjack so
a
you can double
blackjack.
up when you see a 5 or a 6.
No.
All right, you take 19 or 20 every time, and I'll take 11 every
I didn't
time.
say 19 or 20. I said 21.
And looks like Roberto is going to move, maybe change up his luck. He's been real stagnant right around that original $1,000 buy-in plus 1 or 2 stacks. Just can't seem to get anything going from that seat. Maybe he doesn't like being that close to Grace.
I can't see how that's possible.
Yeah, it's hard to steal blinds when she's to your left. It's hard to, you get stuck with a razor usually to your left. It's rough. Roberto doesn't look like the type of guy that would move just for luck purposes.
No. Pocket jacks raises, but no, he's got pocket jacks in the big blind. He moved into pocket jacks, and they're going to chop.
What's coming back for? Yeah.
I saw king. I'm like, all right. I see a deuce. I'm like, oh. It's funny. They always try to hold that hand.
We've seen pocket jacks a lot tonight, and they haven't been winning any big pots.
Raise.
How much?
And it looks like Grace is going to raise with some cards.
Some cards?
Some cards. Seat 5 with Ace King, probably going to protect that. King Queen. And Ace Queen doesn't, Ace King doesn't 3-bet it there. He's just going to do a check and call move, let Grace take the lead the whole way. And Grace thinks she caught up, but she didn't.
Oh, no, she doesn't. She checked.
Two pairs.
Of course.
And Grace just throws it away. Nice pot by Gil.
Thank you.
I think with all the big cards out there, he thought it was very possible he was up against
A straight.
possibly a straight or a straight and or already 2-pair prior to the river. So I think that's why I kind of went into the check and call mode. Thinking maybe she had Ace Queen, Ace Jack, something of that nature.
Check when you get home. Check.
That's right. Advertise the archive.
One time with the Kings for giving a bad beat on you.
Oh, when?
Yeah.
Oh.
When you had the Jack 10.
Oh.
I was like, oh. Little did I know. But I was driving home and I was like, she might have had 10 with a spade.
Oh, yeah, I still remember that hand.
How are you, my man?
One more
Yeah,
time.
looks like we're playing about 7-handed here. Grace going to go for a raise.
King Jack.
King Jack.
Let's count this one.
Grace the serious maximum. If it's good enough to play, it's good enough to raise. And it looks like
Pocket 9.
Pocket 9 is going to re-raise him here.
I know.
Again, getting his money in with the better hand. And this is definitely going to scare him off because.
She checks, he bets.
Oh, okay. I thought Grace was going to bet. Usually, Grace will bet and represent the ace. She must have quite a bit of respect there for George.
He had it.
Yeah.
Who's in 6-3? Oh, sorry. I know. Hardly said a word all night. It's not even action.
Where is it?
Raise on the buttons. With King Queen.
King Queen.
Grace calls a deuce 3.
She knows she's got live cards.
And not anymore. He's flopped the nuts straight.
Kind of a big flop for King Queen.
5100. Yeah, action 5100.
Crazy game.
Have you played the 5100 at the high school?
I've never seen it running.
They said they had it every day solid. Yeah, every single day solid. Huh? Since I would say it's been a couple of weeks at least.
It was a little while ago. I didn't even see it.
Yep, 5100 solid. Sit open. Shut.
A lot of Koreans.
I
A lot
know.
of Koreans looking. They were bad. They good because they kill each other.
And we're playing seven-handed here, live at the bike, 30-60. Kind of weaning down. These guys have been playing since about, similar group of people have been playing since about 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. A few people switching in and out. No, 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. They're headed into about their 6th, 7th hour, some of them.
Oh my God, I know. Chips must be like this, huh?
Yeah, I know. I played there once, and I bought in for like bought it for 2,000, and I won like another 2,000.
And looks like we're going to chop it again.
People, I never had played there. People always say, "Oh, 2550 is a great game," and then I got there. No, it was a great game. But that was weird. Wide open.
I know. You're kidding me? When I go there, I mean,
And players talking about different games, whether it be around town or in Vegas, that they enjoy playing. That's to me, it's one of the most interesting things of having people that aren't really friends or acquaintances, just people you know at the poker room. You get so much information. People want to tell you all about their life, about where they play poker, games that they thought were interesting. It's kind of a weird camaraderie among poker players.
It's fun for about the first month, right?
So looks like we got a raise with pocket 8s and 10 king gives them a call down.
King dead. Look, pocket 8's offset.
And here's the unfortunate thing is every time George has had a monster hand, he's had nobody to call him down with like top pair, worst kicker or something like that. But every time he's flopped a top pair, somebody's had a monster against him, and it's just George is really getting the short end of the stick tonight. I kind of feel for him.
You want to buy button or you want?
It's so hard to call. I thought you have a pair, you know.
I wouldn't raise it.
I had like a bad ace. I thought the 3-bet. That's a good 3-bet. That's a great 3-bet. I was thinking maybe you have a pair. I'm thinking you probably have an ace, but you might have a pair.
You couldn't do anything.
Yeah, what can I do?
Just call me down next time.
Raise it. Re-raise.
Huh?
Grace makes 3 bets, pocket jacks against ace 7 of clubs.
And there's Neela again, first into the pot. She's going to make a raise every time she plays, which, I like it, especially in limit poker. Unfortunately, this time she's run into a big hand with jacks.
Nice bet. Really, did you 3-bet with an 8? What was you have like a 10 or jack?
And I like Grace's 3 bets because it eliminates a lot of the players behind her. At this point, Grace might be a little bit
she bets
timid,
out.
but she bets out, and ace 7
Did you have a
folds.
bigger ace? No.
Ace 7. I think I was in the blind.
You were in the blind, yeah. You're in the big blind.
Thank you.
And the players trying to recall what hand they should have won, lost, split, chopped, played differently. And there's an easy way for them to know. Live at the bike, archives.
Go to the on-demand.
Sorry,
banner
guys
at
out there to
the-
keep sounding like an
right.
advertisement, but it's a little bit of a slow game tonight, so trying to
What
find
do you
that
mean?
silver
They
lining.
love advertising. We've gotten at least 2 questions just on 2+2 about people who want to know about the archives. So
That's true.
Somebody's either not listening or they're really interested. So they want to sign up. So go over to the on-demand banner at the right of the bike.com screen and sign up for $14.95 unlimited access for an entire month. Priceless poker knowledge.
And here's the funny thing. Grace has been at this table the shortest amount of time next to Gil, and she looks like the only one that's actually ahead in chip count, which just really shows you, even though Grace gets beat up and insulted sometimes by players on the way she plays, posters on the way she plays, it's obviously night after night the aggressiveness an effective way to win. And I think I hear the voice of my favorite poker player, Mr. Mo. Mo coming to play some Limit 3060.
Mo.
Kind of a no limit and a freeze out specialist. He'll play about any game that involves chips. He is. Have you ever seen that guy play freeze out?
No.
I haven't seen him lose yet. I haven't seen him lose single table satellite or no, not at freeze out.
Really?
No.
Even on Live with the Bike?
I mean, I've seen him lose pots in games, but I'm just saying, like, whenever they do those one-table satellites or multi-table satellites or freeze-outs, he doesn't lose.
Maybe that's why he keeps running them.
Only for you, I lay down. Huh?
1,000 on 7. Still on your blind.
One blue plus six.
And Roberto takes down $39 as he gave a $10 discount by raising middle position again.
Very live.
One
here.
live here.
Very live here.
Yeah, very live here and here.
Mo joking about how action players he has to his left and to his right. Little does he know they're super tight. Well, I guess George isn't super tight, but...
Yeah, he is.
No, George isn't super tight. He's made a couple moves. A couple loose calls with suited connectors.
Okay.
Super tight would be like folding nines under the gun.
Okay.
Yeah, but nobody would do that.
Of course not.
Not when they should, anyway.
Any picture. Any picture.
Is Mo raising with 4-8?
Mo is raising with 4-8 because he knows he's against the blind. He can hopefully muscle him out.
And the small one. How small can a picture get?
Small picture.
And looks like Grace bet her pair of sixes, and
they've got the same hand.
Same hand. No one on a free roll.
They will chop if they don't fold. Well, there goes that.
There goes the chop if they don't fold idea. You know, really, if you're going to call a bet on the flop against the small blind on that board, I don't see how the king can really scare you off at that point.
I agree.
Kind of surprising. And Mo's got some chips now to fire away. And Mo's coming in for a raise with King 10. Mo plays a lot like Grace. If he's going to play limit, he's going to be raising a lot of pots. If he's got two cards to Broadway, suited connectors, and he's first into the pot, or if there's only one limper in front of him, he's gonna be there big time. And this is where Mo really exceeds. I mean, he's got the same hand, but excels. Excels. My mistake.
That's okay.
It's getting late. This is where Mo excels. Both players missed the flop, and the guy even tried to put the defensive bet out there, and Mo just knows weakness, and he raises them and takes it down. I mean, they had exactly the same hand, and Mo just outplays the guy. Even though Gil tried to put out the...
we love Mo.
Yeah, exactly. Even though Gil tried to put out the defensive bet there, it was no good. Got smacked down.
Now Mo's got a real hand, Jack Deuce offsuit.
For any of you rich trust fund babies out there that want to take poker lessons, I would definitely get in touch with Mo.
Ace King clubs raises. 9-10. 9-10 in the big blind. Call.
Why do you want the poor guy to call with an inferior hand?
It's only inferior if it loses on the river.
It's only about 2 to 3, I think.
Okay. Well,
no
yeah,
good.
but look how easy it is to get away from.
That's true.
He's done. It's over.
Now, had those been 2 hearts, he might get stuck on a big draw, but, then he's got a lot of outs.
Yeah, exactly.
Ace King.
It's not that I want Ace King to lose, just I want 9-10 to win. I want there to be something legitimate to me having it as my favorite hand.
down 12 to 1.
And Gil folds, George folds, Mo folds. Mo folds.
Graves raises.
I can
Oh,
barely
she
speak English these
limps.
days. Man, Grace must have a monster hand if she limped.
King 3 of diamonds.
King 3 of
No
diamonds,
wonder
no
she
raise.
limped. She can't throw it away, but she can't raise with it.
I could have.
I could throw it away too.
Okay, ace-7, huge flop. Nut flush draw and the top pair. Probably going to get called down by 6-8, pair and a straight draw. Also a big flop for 6-8. Middle pair and a straight draw. Might even see a raise here.
There's no point in raising. He needs a free card. Oh, he got it.
He got it. 6-8 gets there. Ace-7, still a lot of redraws.
I think too much. One too many. There.
9 for a chop or a spade.
Oh, an 8
Ooh,
for a
spade
an 8
gets
for a
there.
chop or a spade.
Ouch.
Well, he checks. The guy bets now. He's
And
he's
6-8
correctly thinking. I mean,
6-8 really wants to call to play the board here, but he realizes he's no good, and I think he's still going to make that frustration call.
He's got the nut flush? Oh, what I figured.
Nut flush. Well, 6-8 was behind everywhere except for the turn, and ace-7 really supposed to win that hand.
No way I have a...
I know.
Yeah, my parents are going anymore, but only...
Spadillo. Color.
And it looks like George under the gun is going to raise with ace-jack suited. A healthy raise under the gun, I like it. Folds around to the button. Lars mucky muck. And just Will going to defend his big blind with pocket deuces. Actually ahead at this point. Not anymore. And here's the thing, anytime the board pairs, it just makes anybody with the pocket pair that much more confident about his hand.
At least chop, you know what I mean?
And he's going to call him all the way down here with his deuces. Not going to be too happy about it.
I made it straight also, right?
What?
And Will trying to bet the whole way representing the ace, and unfortunately he ran into the real ace. And that's how that goes. Nice putt. You know, I almost don't mind Will's play there the whole way if...
Gil.
What did I say?
Will.
Man, I'm getting tired. Sorry, I don't mind Gil's play there the whole way. If George has anything but an ace, he's probably going to lay it down at some point. Or if he just happens to have 2 overcards and the deuces are good. Can't really see too much bad.
To the ace.
No, 2 overcards to the deuces.
I know, I'm funny. Ace king for Grace. She raises, picks up the blinds.
Ace king up spade.
Man, if I could earn $49 as frequently as Grace does, I could quit my day job.
Yeah, well, don't, because you can't. But
Good point.
Jennifer, you are wrong. It is Mac Mace R, or Mac Macer, like Scott said, not Mac Macker. Bart got it right the other day. Sorry, I didn't know that Bart had already pronounced it.
Mac Macer.
Sorry, I tried.
Todos espadillos.
I thought it might have been a Mac thing. I don't know what Macer means, so I had to go with what I knew.
Kev Math's got a good point. He's asking maybe we can have a little bio or something like that at the Live at the Bike website on the people that commentate. Definitely not a bad idea. We'll look into that for sure. Just to let you know, you might want to forward these suggestions or emails to Evelyn. She's kind of the woman that runs the show, and her sidekick Isaac here, really the 2 people that don't get enough glory here in the booth. They do an awesome job.
Evelyn and Isaac. So, Whale Knock likes...
No, Whale Cock.
No, Whale Knock. Whale Cock. That's funny. Thinks that we should put Terry's picture up because he's an awesome commentator. Well, you'll be getting more of Terry. I actually didn't get to see the show, but I'm really interested to hear his commentary. He's a friend of mine, and Yeah, so he'll be back on Friday and Saturday night of this week. So if you're into Terry, don't miss it.
Version of the spades in Spanish.
Don't forget to ask him about the burrito.
Don't ask him about the burrito. He'll pretend he doesn't know what you're talking about anyway. We've got some ace queens in this pot.
Roberto. Roberto, what is Padillo?
Padillo?
He doesn't know.
You don't know?
Nobody knows.
Oh.
But that's Padillo.
Dos espadillos.
They're going to chop if no one folds.
Ace high.
Ace high.
Oh, choppity chop.
Wait, heads up, George.
Do I want to?
Do you?
Yeah, all the time. That's my favorite thing.
We're gonna play 300.
Come by tomorrow.
Come by?
Before I go, I'm going to Vegas tomorrow, Friday.
Come by here?
Oh, Hank's going to Vegas, huh?
Hank.
Hank.
Sparky in Vegas.
Let's hang out, dude.
One time tomorrow.
Where?
We'll play here. They'll spread it. They'll spread it.
If anybody's going to be in Vegas this weekend, come find Scott and I. We're going to be hanging out in Vegas this weekend. I don't know where we're going to be, but
Either the Rio or the MGM, one of the two.
yeah.
Little bit of false bravado going on the table here. George and Sparky trying to instigate a heads-up match.
Oh, boy.
Sparky talking about, let's play heads-up for all your money, your whole bankroll at once. Yeah. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's funny. You do that to people.
I try to do that all the time. Very rarely. I've actually never had any takers. Not that I'm that monster of a player, but usually the people that are barking the loudest are the ones least likely to want to play heads up for a lot of money. I just wish I had the backing of Steve Wynn so I could make Daniel Negreanu's proposition. And then I'd get killed for all of Steve Wynn's money, but that's okay.
You know, I work here. I work this casino.
Ace Jack of Hearts, she's going to raise on the button.
Oh, yeah?
What game is that? What is 300? What is 300?
Maybe we could start having on Live at the Bike, we should start having like a Thursday night grudge match. You know, get like two people that really hate each other play heads up for like $2,000 or something.
Well, nobody at the bike hates each other.
That's true.
I don't-
Okay, well, two people that really dislike each
I
other.
just think we should have girls versus guys. We should have like a girls table. Well, we don't need a guys table. That's just boring. But
Yeah, that, with me playing, I want an hour.
And Ace Jack gonna pick this pot up.
Ace king?
oh, I guess we do have girls' night when we have the bombshell models here. But I'm talking about
Talking about players.
bike girls.
Not biker
playing,
girls.
not models. We're talking about players. Like have Grace and Vicky and Lizette and Trish and Shirley
And you.
and me all playing at the same table. Well, I'm way out of my league at that table, but it'd be
No,
fun.
not at all.
Aw.
Not out of your league. It's just it'd be hard to find that. It'd be hard to get that group to agree on any type of play structure
Yeah, 'cause
limit.
Shirley will want to play no limit.
Yeah. Other people want to play 7-card stud.
She would agree to play limit, though. Shirley's a good limit player.
Is that what you just
Oh,
called
look.
in
Aces for Lars. He raises under the gun.
Quiet man Lars going to get called by Mo.
Smooth call,
Has
Mo.
ace-10, dominated hand.
Grace 3 bets with ace queen.
Well, all the aces are gone. So now we're looking to pair the bottom card twice for everybody else on
Or
the table.
get some straights. And he just calls.
Just calls.
There's the queen.
Ace queen.
She's going to need another one. He checks. He's going to raise. Check raise here. Mo's going to go out.
And Grace is going to re-raise.
3 bets.
And now he should just smooth call.
Now he
No.
re-raise.
I think he should have just smooth called and tried for the check raise on the turn. Grace might think they have the same hand since he didn't
Yeah.
4-bet pre-flop.
Well, now she's just going to call. She needs a queen. Nope.
No good. And 6-7 actually would have got there with a full house. 6-7 of hearts, who was in the small blind, who had the most live drawing hand, would have actually got there with a full house.
This is going to be our last hand of the night, Scott.
And that's a shame because I've been having a good time. A lot of good feedback tonight from the 2+2ers. And although it wasn't the most exciting of tables, a lot of education, I think.
So let's see what we get here.
Definitely join us tomorrow night. It looks like we're either going to have one of the bigger No Limit games or possibly $1,000 one-table satellite for $10,000 buy-in to the main event.
I'll be here to watch you. Message what?
And it looks like we might get a
don't
fold
want the
around.
last hand of the night to be a chop. Come on, raise it on the button. Oh, it's already been raised by Gil. Okay, cool. He raised with
Looks like pocket eights.
8-7 offsuit.
Oh, 8-7 offsuit.
Heads up
And
or short-handed? Like three-handed, four-handed?
four jack. Oh no. He's got pocket sevens. You're right.
Pocket sevens.
Against 7-8.
Decent flop for 8-7. At least he picked up a draw.
He's a 6.
Ace might scare someone. Scares off Lars.
And Gil takes it down. Well, that is going to do it for us tonight for Live at the Bike.
Thanks for everybody watching, and thanks for everybody posting.
For Jennifer Banks and Scott Groves, join us tomorrow. Good night, everyone, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.